But yo, we are live, guys. Welcome to the second episode of From Comics to Movies podcast, episode 2, like I said. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the Mad Titan himself, Mr. Thanos. And also, we're going to be reviewing Avengers Endgame. So there will be some spoilers in this episode. So if you guys haven't seen Endgame yet, when we get to that, segment of the show, we're going to give you a warning, and then we're going to get back into the discussion. But you guys can also see the topics that we're going to be talking about during the show in the description. And if you guys are new to this whole podcast, this is something different than doing in the channel where, we're going to be talking about comics and the comic book movie adaptation. So, comics is definitely something that, I'm pretty sure everybody in here is passionate about. And, just going to give our thoughts, or give my thoughts as well on these comics that I've read. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you guys, learn from it, master it. And and we're going to do it's a lot of comparing in this podcast. So this is a comic book podcast where we're going to be comparing the movie adaptation, and we're going to be talking about the movies as well. If you guys missed the first episode, we spoke about our MCU tier list. Very, very good discussions going on, a lot of different opinions going on, and just doing this podcast, I was ready to jump on everybody's neck, before the podcast. But after the podcast, I was like, oh, hold up, you guys making pretty good thoughts out here, man. I respect it out here, man. But yeah, I
got one thing to say. At least we ain't nobody here have a Jay Wong tier list. That's all I can say. Man, Justin was wild.
Justin Wong. Hopefully one of these episodes I could get Justin on here. I hit people up. I don't give a damn. I hit people up. So if you ever agree, we'll definitely get this man on here for these tier lists, man. It is crazy out here. But let's introduce everybody to the panel that we have here for episode 2. And starting with, from the left to the right, you got my man Sentry. Sentry, introduce yourself, man.
What's poppin'? I'm Sentry. I'm a semi-violent man from... No, let me stop playing. I'm the host of Usual Suspects podcast every Friday except for tomorrow because ain't no topics, and I play video games. That's about it.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Also, during the show, I'll have everybody's Twitter handle in the description as well, and share everybody out. I just feel like Twitter is an easy way to get in contact everybody and all that. So be on the lookout for that as well. And next up we got my man Up Chuck Gaming. Chuck, introduce yourself, man.
Yeah. What's up, man? It's your boy Up Chuck Gaming, man. Here talking, shout out to my man Thanos. Definitely want to talk about this movie. My man Jabari. I ain't gonna say that, man, but he was a little bit animated after he seen it. Man.
Oh yeah,
we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. Shout out to the cast, though, man. It should be fun.
Oh yeah, I was. If you thought I was animated in the chat, I was animated at the movie theater.
My man was really heated.
People was looking at me.
Angry. I was dying, bro.
People was looking at me like, get this light skinned man out of here. We're trying to enjoy the damn movie.
Hey, Jabari, check your Twitter in fucking about 5 seconds.
Oh, all right. Yo, shout out to my man Big Cloud in the building. That's my man Persona in the chat. For some strange reason on YouTube, my chat link is not working, so it's not popping up here, but I'll be looking at the chat personally on the video. But next up we got my man Frozen Magma in the building. It's been a minute since my man Frozen been on this channel. But Frozen, man, introduce yourself, bro.
Yeah, I haven't done a podcast in about 3 years, so I'm retired. So
I'm making my retire like Jordan, huh?
Yeah, I'm retired, man. Jabari's an honest guy, man.
Jordan.
Y'all don't need to come at Jabari for his opinion, man. It's okay.
Frozen, listen, if people sit down and listen to the best list on YouTube, they'll understand this man making some fucking sense out here, man. You know what I mean?
They was ready to everybody that was your friend was ready to was they was all.
He almost got blocked, bro. He almost got blocked.
Hey, the most popular comment was, "Oh, I don't follow you for your movie opinion."
Oh shit!
Let's go.
I'm like, sit your ass down. That joke was funny as hell though, man. But yo, real talk, I had no agenda behind whatever tweet I did about this movie. It was just pure honesty, man. But yo, speaking about another honest man, we got my man Gaming with Persona. Yo, Persona, introduce yourself, bro.
Yo, what's good, guys? Persona here. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. As a comic book reader, as a movie watcher, movie goer, excited to talk with these lovely people on the panel. Appreciate Barry for having me on, and let's get to it. Let's get to it.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And guys, if you ever want to be a guest on From Comics to Movies podcast, definitely hit me up. You know, I don't mind if you guys come on. We're gonna try to limit it to probably like 5 to 6 people on the show, because I know a lot of people have different opinions. You know, people do read comics out here. I want the comic book readers out here, the movie watchers out here, to get their opinions on the show, man. So if you guys ever are interested, and I'm pretty sure next episode 3. Oh man, listen, I'm gonna be very calm this episode, but episode 3, I'm going in. All right, so we're gonna tease that. We're gonna tease that a little bit later in the show. But yo, Usual Suspect podcast, what is good, man? That's my people right there. That's Century people right there. That's Century right there, man. That's my guy.
Yeah, I changed YouTube channels right quick.
Yeah, man. So there you go. Usual Suspect every Friday. What you guys do? 7:30 p.m. Eastern time.
It would be 6:30 Eastern.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, no, 6. I mean 6 on the dot Eastern, 5 Central.
Okay, gotcha. But
I live in Chicago, time.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun here real quick in the beginning of the show, because we're gonna be talking about Thanos quest. I feel like, you know, just to even talk about Infinity War or Endgame, you gotta go with the origin. You gotta go with the basics. You know what I mean? That's like trying to play basketball, but you don't know how to dribble. You know what I mean? You gotta do some basics. You gotta do some drills out here. You gotta know how to weave out here on the basketball floor. And before we get into the Infinity Gauntlet and Thanos quest talk, we're gonna play a little game real quick, guys. Do you want to play a little game?
What's up, Jigsaw? Let's get it. Let's go.
Oh, let's get it, man. Here we go. Where we're gonna play a little game where, before, you know, the MCU adaptation, you know, they kind of changed it up to Infinity Stones. Well, you know, in the comics, they kind of changed that a little bit to Infinity later on. But
Gems.
Originally, it was called the Soul Gems, and then later it was called the Infinity Gems by my man Thanos. And we're going to find out how Thanos got knowledge of these Infinity Gems and all that stuff. But before we get to that, we got a little game that we're going to play. Here, you guys see, you got 6 characters, Marvel characters on here under each gem. So this is the original color for each gem. Here, where we got the blue gem is the mind gem. The yellow is reality. The red is power. The purple is space. The green is soul. And the orange is time. And I know a lot of people will probably looking at this and go like, hey, you got it wrong, man.
Wait a minute. I'm looking at this and I remember that sometimes there's a 7th one, but we're gonna leave that alone.
Oh, you going deep.
They changed it, right?
No, it's always usually 6, but there was instances where there was an extra stone for no reason other than 7 symmetry.
Well, you going deep. Well, you know, the Infinity Gems, they started out with this. I forgot the name of the character, but Thanos was talking about it where it was just a one complete being, and she was all by herself, and then it
came from I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
where
she
it
just
came
blew up
from
herself.
a specific cosmic being, and she split up, and that's how the stones kind of became what they were.
Yep,
it was
pretty
made up
much.
of like different parts of a cosmic being. I forgot her name. I forgot the person's name, but yeah.
She blew up, and all the 6 stones pretty much separated. But under each stone, guys, we have a character here. And these are the elders of the universe. Well, some of the elders in the universe. But I want you guys to answer which one of these characters are not a part of the elders of the universe. So we got from the left to the right, we got the Grandmaster. The second one under the Reality Stone is the Collector. The third one is the Champion. The fourth one is the Runner. The fifth one is In-Betweener. And sixth one is the Gardener. Which one of these characters are not an elder of the universe? Who wants to take this one?
I think
I'm gonna say I don't know because I don't.
I want to say it's the in-betweener, but I think
I think it's the in-betweener.
I want to say I'm off on that because there's some other stuff I'm like semi-remembering, but I'm gonna just go with it for now. If I'm wrong, I can live with it.
All right. What you got, Chuck?
I was gonna take a guess, bruh. I'm gonna go with the what's the Space Stone one? Who's that?
That's the Runner.
I'm gonna go with the Runner.
Okay, and Persona, you said in-betweener?
I think
Let it seem out of place.
I'm playing around in my head right now, Pause. I think it's either between the in-betweener or the champion.
Yo, when you got the bubble in your gut, you go with the bubble in your guts.
You go to the bathroom.
Oh, you go to the bathroom. The in-betweener is not a elder of the universe. He was created by Master Order and Lord Chaos. Pretty much like the third or fourth most powerful cosmic being. So they pretty much created him be their servant, and he was harvesting the Soul Stone. So out of all of this, see the stones the gems right here. Which one was the first gem that Thanos got?
The first?
Yeah.
It
was the
you mean?
Oh no, not movie in the comics.
Oh, I thought you meant the movie.
I'm gonna say Soul Stone.
Okay.
No, it was time.
Okay.
It was time.
You said time?
Yeah. Because when he sorry.
Shout out, Chuck was definitely right, man. Soul Stone in-betweener, first guy that he pretty much hustled. Thanos is a hustler, yo. Like he pretty much outsmarted everybody in here to get their stone because nobody knew what each stone pretty much or gem could do. So Thanos, he went to the Infinity Well here, and pretty much the Infinity Well is pretty much just a harvest of all types of information. So he was granted this mission, like in the movie, to kill half of the universe by Lady Death, and we find that out later on in the comic. But so you went to the Infinity Well, so how he can do this job, and in Infinity Well they gave him the information about the stones here. Yo, my man Ravishing is in the building. Yo, Ravishing, what's good, man? In here, and that's where he got the knowledge of the Infinity Stone. And pretty much who had it and how he would be able to pretty much get each stone from each elder or person.
Did he do it? He did it differently, right? Than the movie, they totally changed.
Oh yeah, he did it completely different. So the first stone he got was from the in-betweener, where he took the Soul Stone from. Second stone he got was from the Gardener, and the Gardener, pretty much was.
Oh, you're right, because that's where what's the name kind of picks up. And after Thanos quest, you're right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. The Gardener pretty much was harvesting the Time Stone. So he thought that his garden was like pretty much flourishing, but he was using the Time Stone or the Time Gem to help grow the garden and stop time so it could be at a perfect position. But he did not know that. But Thanos knew it, and Thanos was pretty much hustled everybody out of their stones. The shit was so gangster, That's why anybody that especially if you loved Infinity War or Endgame, definitely just try and read Thanos quests. You know what I mean? You see how you get them gems and shits is ill. But somebody was gonna say something.
I wasn't about to say nothing, but I just want to point out this was the Thanos redemption arc because my man was really in the Thanos copter trying to steal cosmic cubes a long time ago.
Oh yeah. Cosmic Cube was I think the first thing that he did.
He dropped that bitch, and I was like, bro, what?
And Thanos pretty much he destroyed the whole Marvel universe with the heart of the universe. He pretty much killed everybody. We got to revert that shit. But yeah, the next stone that he got was the Time Stone, where he got that from the Runner. And yeah, so basically, the runner didn't know how he was running so fast. Thanos tricked him. He was like, "Yo, listen, only reason why you're running so fast because you're manipulating the time stone, not the time stone, the space stone. You're actually moving through space, so that's why you think you're running fast." And what Thanos did to him, like my man Ravish said in the chat, pretty much turned him old and then turned him to a baby. But before he went to go see the runner, he went to actually see the collector, because the collector also had the reality stone, but he didn't know. So after the runner, after he turned the runner to a baby, he pretty much brought the runner in to the collector as a collection, because the elders is pretty much, you're the last of the race, the last of the species, and the collector collect that type of shit. And the collector gave him the reality stone not knowing, and Thanos was like pretty much like boggled this dude's mind with a reality stone. He was like, yo, what did I just give up here? You know what I mean? Joe was crazy out here, man. So that's 2 stones that Thanos got in one by giving up the runner to the collector, which the runner had the space stone and the collector had the reality stone. And then after he got the reality stone from the collector, he pretty much turned the runner back to normal, and the collector and the runner was fighting. And the last stone that he got was pretty much the Mind Stone. A lot of people consider this as like the greatest elder, the Grand Master, and this is why I'm so upset with Thor Ragnarok as well, because how they portray the Grand Master, I was like, yo, listen, this is fugazi. I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry. Like, you had the greatest mind in, like, you can look at him as one of the greatest minds in Marvel, and you just had this dude portraying, like, I'm not saying like Jeff Goldberg, what's his name, Goldberg, wasn't like
Jeff
a
Goldblum.
Bloom. He wasn't like a good like he looked like a good collector. I mean, Grand Master, but that's the whole funniness in the portrayal was crazy. So Thanos and the Grand Master pretty much had like a game that they were doing, and the Grand Master basically wanted to hustle Thanos because he knew that he had all of the 5 gems, and he wanted to collect those gems for himself because he was watching Thanos. And basically he was trying to cheat, but Thanos, he's already overpowered. He had all these gems on him. He's like, he knew the Grand Master's plan. He ended up tricking him through with the reality stones and all that stuff, and ended up winning the game.
Thanos was like, you can't hustle. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, yo, it's so well written, man, how like Thanos just tricked everybody.
Isn't it kind of similar to what he did to the Guardians when they went to go to the collector? Kind of like use like a fake.
Yeah, pretty.
It's similar.
It's kind of sound like that. That's what
pretty much. Oh yeah, the matter of fact, the second stone that he took was the Power Stone. I forgot to mention that, and that was with the Champion. The Champion is pretty much like the greatest, fighter in the universe. Like, he never lost, but a part of that was because he was he basically had the Power Stone and the Power Gem, and how Thanos tricked him. He was like, Thanos was fighting him 1-on-1 and basically had him so angry that he destroyed the planet that he was on. It was just floating in the air, and it was like, yo, you can't go nowhere now. And Thanos dude was like, yo, can you help me get to somewhere or get me to a planet or something? And Thanos was like, yeah, I can help you get to somewhere, but you got to give up that stone. And so that's how basically Thanos got the Power Stone and basically tricked the Champion. Anyway, he just warped into like some crazy ass planet. He's like, I ain't never told you where he was gonna go. You know what I mean? It just pretty much warped him over there. But yeah, that's how Thanos pretty much got all the stones, guys. Yeah, pretty much the war planet where the Champion was pretty much just decimating everybody. And you know who they had as a champion in Ragnarok, where they try to push this being as a champion, Hulk, which is kind of crazy, but it worked out for those guys that like Ragnarok.
Nah, Ragnarok was trash. But
I didn't like it either.
Ragnarok was terrible.
Everybody
like,
pretty much.
The reason why I didn't, not the. I'm talking about the movie because I don't know. Like, first off, I don't like how Marvel has backseated Hulk so much in these movies. Like he's Hulk, Wolverine, and Spider-Man, and all of the X-Men pretty much are like my favorite Marvel like characters. And it's like
you can
the fact that Hulk too, right? The fact that Hulk is getting backseated the way he is, and then in Ragnarok, which is a series event, Like it's too much joke. Like why is everyone laugh? Like why are you laughing? Like I don't know. It's too much jolly shit happening in this movie, and I'm like, yo, y'all need to be more sad and depressed.
Yo, Persona, you know what's funny about Ragnarok? Every person that's not a fan of Thor, they loved Ragnarok. Because I'm like, yeah, you're not a fan of Thor. Like that's not how Thor is. Yeah, that's not how it's portrayed. That's not how he's portrayed, man. Like that was bothersome to me, man. Like yo, real to like, that's you guys gonna see, and when we get to the Endgame review, that's what kind of bothered me with Endgame is that all the characters that I pretty much love and like adore with these characters, in Marvel, like they made a mockery of it. Yo, Craig, what's good, man? Yeah, no doubt, Craig, no doubt, bro, no doubt, man.
I mean, when I think about it, it's like the fact that I detach it because I'm like, they're not gonna do anything 1-to-1 ever.
Yeah,
because it's impossible to do. Also, with the backseating, just to bring that up, until Marvel gets full control of the Hulk property, which is close to let me look at my invisible watch, never from Universal, you probably won't get anything mainline with the Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of taken that approach. Who's that talking? Century talking?
Yeah, Century.
Yeah. Okay. That approach with like kind of like because ask Bari. In the early days of like Marvel movies, I was OD critiquing like, yo, this is not how it's done. And then like one day I was just like, it's never going to be how it's supposed to be. But then it's like when you try to like go in there with like an open mind, it's certain things that you see that you just have to question because it's just like what like you kind of have to question, especially if you know what happened in the comics, because it just. I'm sorry. We getting way too far ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bar.
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead. Speak your truth, man.
No, I'm saying like in terms of the movies, you kind of have to go in there with an open mind and like understand that it's not going to be 1-to-1 to the comics. But then there's certain things that you see in the movies that again, going back to Ragnarok. Why the fuck is everyone laughing? Like, there's nothing funny here. Like, why are you all laughing?
Hulk's about to die.
Like, why are you all joking? Like, I don't get this.
Corny.
Why are you why are you mashing Planet Hulk story with like what are you people doing? Like, what are y'all doing here? Like, I don't get it. Like, so those are my issues with the movies. But yeah,
true. I have the same kind of issues. Like, I always. Persona tell you, man, I'm a comic book purist, yo, like at heart, but I fall back at a lot of these movies, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people might not think that with the tweets I do, but I fall back a lot. But it's a certain characters for me, like you just like if I love a character, oh man, it's like I'm watching you with the magnifying glass, like, you know what I mean? Like everything is gonna be.
You know it from since you were like growing up with the character.
Exactly, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's just certain things like I know Captain America wasn't 1-to-1, but to me, I thought his movies, regardless if it was a Captain America movie.
Which Earth exact. I think Rob from Comic explained it was Earth 98. I want to say where like heroes age, and I was like, fuck that.
Oh, word? For who, Cap?
No, just basically what Marvel did with the movies, and we can get back on topic because we kind of getting away from it. Mm-hmm. The universe is basically a combo pack of Ultimate, parts of Prime / 616, and 98, where heroes actually age in real time. So, like, when Cap got out the ice, he would age real time from that point on, or Iron Man from birth age, like, how a human is supposed to age and not be, like, fucking 31 all his life. So,
oh yeah, I got you. Me area, mind you, me area. But Infinity Gauntlet, I think pretty much everybody know the story here of Infinity Gauntlet. Even if like you didn't read the whole thing, you know of Infinity Gauntlet story. There's no way, you can pass. Yo, Michi, what's good, man? Peter Parker still sipping from the bottle. Yo, you already know, Michi, know. But yeah, so we fast forward into a lot of the stuff here. There's a lot of background talk, but I'm not gonna put all those panels there. But pretty much, Thanos got all the gems, got the Infinity Gauntlet, and this guy was pretty much like a god or beyond a god. Where with the Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos is pretty much more powerful than pretty much all the cosmic entities outside the living tribunal. And there was some distraught there with Lady Death. I mean, Lady Death didn't like him anyway, but the reason why Thanos was doing all of this was for Lady Death, where he pretty much snapped out half of the universe, existence. So here is where you see the whole snap, the famous snap that happened, and pretty much Thanos wiped out half of the existence, and still Lady Death was not pleased. And if you guys watched the first episode From Comics to Movies podcast, this is the scene that I was talking about, where shout out to my man Big Keith, where he won the 30 days Marvel Ultimate voucher, where after the whole snap, Spider-Man was the next scene, him in Times Square, and his spider sense is going crazy. He's like, what the hell was going on? And right after that, he saw like a whole bunch of people disappeared. You know what he said next? Mary Jane. Yo, where you at?
I'll save you, Mary Jane. No.
And you can tell how powerful Thanos was, and the reason why I'm gonna emphasize as far as how powerful he was with the Infinity Gauntlet here in the comics, because we're gonna compare with the movie side of things. My man Silver Surfer, one of the most powerful beings in Marvel, was in fear of his life with Thanos. You know what I mean? Silver Surfer is, everybody knows Silver Surfer. This guy is OP. Galactus' old hero. This guy is OP as hell. And he was in fear, where he's talking to Doctor Strange. Pretty much, Marvel, in the Infinity War, they had Hulk that was beamed away, and got to Doctor Strange's house and all that. What's the house called again? The Sanctum. And Norrin Rad. You remember the Silver Surfer cartoon back in the day?
Yo, chill.
Yeah, I used to watch that, bro.
That joke was kind of lit, but I don't know if I could watch it now. But when I was a kid, I used to love the hell out of that
Probably
show.
Not.
Yo, quick aside, have you gone back and tried to watch 90s X-Men and just like, bro, Wolverine was always on rah-rah shit whenever Cyclops walked in the room. He saw Cyclops like, fuck this dude.
Wolverine was the ultimate hater. The ultimate hater.
Wolverine was that dude, man.
He hated Cyclops with a passion.
But you know what I love? You know what I love about those comic book cartoons, those animated cartoons back in like the 90s? It wasn't like super accurate with the comics, but they were very damn close, like how they want to portray.
X-Men was like, out of all of these, X-Men was the one that was the closest to the comics, like almost damn near 1-to-1.
Yeah, because X-Men, it was based off of like volumes and issues of like comic book stories.
Remember that Chris Claremont got full executive producer credits on the TV show when they did Dark Phoenix shit.
Oh yeah. That was a great series too, man, with Dark Phoenix.
That was a great arc right there. That shit was so fire, bro.
Flames, literally.
Damn, I might go back and watch that show because I think it's on Hulu. I am gonna lie, I might watch X-Men, man, low key. Real talk, the Spider-Man animated series was pretty close.
Spider-Man animated series was another one. Like it was like 1-to-1, but it was based off of like it was close, like issues from the comics. Yeah,
it was close. It was because he had the web shooter things in his arms. And they did a lot. They did a lot of good with him. That show was really good too. Very underrated.
So Spectacular on Hulu, by the way. Sorry, my bad.
Spectacular who?
Spectacular Spider-Man, the cartoon.
Oh, I love that one. Spectacular Spider-Man. That jump was good too, man. Underrated. That show right there, Spectacular Spider-Man and the Batman. I used to love the hell out of those.
Oh yeah, cartoons. The Batman. That's another one.
Batman was a good one
on Hulu too. I'm about to go through. I'm about to make me take a time machine back. Yeah, I'm about to say, y'all about to have me take a time machine.
Listen. Shout out to Sprint, man. Hulu free. You know what I mean?
Yo, listen, Batman. Yo, like my cartoon roundup, because I grew up in the 90s, so like X-Men used to come on Fox at 3:00 in the afternoon when I get home from school. So that's when I used to watch it. Used to be X-Men, then the Batman and Superman used to come on at night, and then Justice League used to come on at like 11, and that was like my cartoon roundup. And then Spider-Man used to come on Saturdays. No, was it Channel 5?
Spider-Man used to come on like weekdays.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I think it was after X-Men.
Yeah, it was. You're right. It was X-Men, then Spider-Man. You're right.
What you said on Frozen?
I need to bring that back. Like, when like how we had cartoons like
Yeah,
Like,
they don't have that, man. It's all these paid programs, man.
Nah, it's Cartoon Network now, man. That's what it is, man.
And
Everyone,
it's trash.
Cartoon Network 24/7. Yo, Cartoon Network took a huge nosedive, man.
It is terrible.
Folks ain't never gonna get Eddie, Courage and all that again. No,
Garbage,
no.
man. But yo,
They gonna get
right here, pretty much they showing off everybody that some of the people that heroes that passed away from, well, that's pretty much got snapped out. And this is the Thanos showing that this man is pretty much a god. He can do whatever he want to do out here. And this is the part that I really want to show off here in this episode, is that this is how much of a threat that Thanos was to pretty much the whole universe. And Adam Warlock was definitely introduced, but I'm not going to really talk about Adam Warlock here. Just that he was more like the mastermind behind. He was like the strategic guy, pretty much like how Captain America was for like the Avengers. That's what Adam Warlock was doing for this super clash of heroes and cosmic entities. And this is how much Thanos was a threat with the Infinity Gauntlet, where my man Adam Warlock pretty much was pleading with all the cosmic entities to have shut down Thanos, like stop him. And they're one of the greatest meetings ever. Like when I was reading this when I was a kid, I was like, because you always read about the cosmic entities and all that stuff. But when I read this story, I was like, what the fuck? I was like,
was that many?
I was like, all of them is here, like all of them is in one spot, and they were pleading to the Living Tribunal, like, we need shut Thanos down. Living Tribunal was like, no, this is like pretty much this I can't shut this down because this is not really disrupting order. This is just if somebody wanted to fight for eternity spot, it's just a natural order of things, like you got to defend it. So that's what he was looking at it as. It wasn't like a multi-universal threat or anything like that, but it was just a universal threat. So he just left it up to the cosmic entities to do everything. But Adam Warlock basically got everybody to co-sign, and was like, we need to we pretty much need to the orchestrated attack with Super Surfer that failed. A lot of the stuff we can get into as far as like the whole attack, but we're not going to really dive deep into the whole, because it's pretty much like how much issues
for hours.
How much issues Infinity Gauntlet, like six issues. It's a lot of comic book there to talk about.
The book, if you get the Infinity Gauntlet like book, that thing thick.
It's a lot of stuff to talk about, but basically all the Earth heroes pretty much got decimated. Iron Man decimated. I think he got his head chopped off, to be honest with you. Cyclops, my man, got put into like a cube where he suffocated. Wolverine, they made him like his whole bones twist. Like my man Thanos is
turned into rubber.
He like warped reality. Wolverine was all twisted up. Like, what the hell?
Said I got you now, bitch.
So pretty much everybody was just done. And
Spider-Man too. I forgot who he fought, like a 6-arm version of himself.
Yeah, Spider-Man was pretty much, Spider-Man couldn't really do nothing. Then my man just threw some web at Thanos. And Thanos was like, what the hell is this?
Thanos was like, this ain't New York, son.
Yeah, he just blasted him away. Even Thor was no real fight here against Thanos. So this is not Odin's son Thor. This is that secondary Thor dude. Nobody
talking
really
about Blake?
Nah. This was I forgot dude's name. Not Bill. It was the other blonde haired dude that nobody really cared about. He's not Odin's son though. I forgot my man's name.
Hold on, I gotta go look. Marvel Wiki pop up right quick because I know who you talking about. I just don't know their name.
Yeah, he was like the second, the true quote unquote secondary Thor outside of Jane Foster and Beta Ray Bill. Floyd Mayweather, what's good, man? Where was Deadpool? He could have did something.
Deadpool get clapped.
Yeah, Deadpool. I don't think was in this one. Deadpool was in
Deadpool wasn't introduced until I think later on, in like a couple of years after that, if I recall correctly. I could be off on that.
Yeah, but Deadpool definitely had like the Gauntlet at the time, and he definitely fought in one of these fights. I don't think it was Infinity War. Might be.
New Mutants 91, New Mutants 98, 91 February. Infinity. When did Infinity War drop? Well, Gauntlet.
Early 90s.
92.
Yeah, early 90s.
Oh, yeah, it was like he was full year out from actually being introduced.
Yeah, so in this fight where Thanos was pretty much fighting against all the cosmic entities, they could even stand a chance against Thanos. I'm talking about Galactus, Lord Chaos, Master Order, pretty much everybody couldn't do nothing against Thanos here. The one above all, Celestial, not the true one above all, but the Celestial being the one above all was there as well. They couldn't do anything against Thanos. Infinity, Eternity, and pretty much when it comes to these cosmic beings, Eternity is like the embodiment of the universe, of everything that is life is pretty much Eternity. And Thanos pretty much beat Eternity in a fight with the Infinity Gauntlet, and he ended up becoming one with the universe where he was Eternity. But that's where he fucked up. With that, him being one with the universe, the Gauntlet pretty much was not being occupied by anyone. And we forgot a huge story plot where Nebula was kind of resurrected. She was resurrected to like a zombie form, but that zombie form got handed a gauntlet. And long story short, Nebula pretty much reversed everything that Thanos did, but with all that power, she became kind of crazy. And this is why Infinity Gauntlet is such a great story, because a
lot of them became crazy.
Yeah, she became crazy, and she started doing stuff with fighting against everybody. And Thor ended up slapping like Thanos away, but they ended up getting Thanos back because they needed his help to help get the Infinity Gauntlet away from Nebula. And here's the team up here that you have, where you had Doctor Strange, Adam Warlock, Silver Surfer, and Thanos pretty much kind of teaming up to get this Infinity Gauntlet back from Nebula. And at the end of the day, everybody was fighting for the Infinity Gauntlet because everybody pretty much wanted that power. But Adam Warlock said, all right, we shutting this down. It's over. It's over. We're done. You know what I mean? And short little story. This is pretty much the pretty much the end notes. Not the end notes. What's that book called that everybody use when they write their research paper? The Cliff Notes. This was the Cliff Notes here of Infinity Gauntlet. But if you guys want to read Infinity Gauntlet, definitely go ahead and read that thing. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it, and then you're gonna appreciate it, especially after watching Endgame.
But
yo, so
a lot of stuff. Not to kind of cut you off,
no,
but
go ahead. Yeah,
in the Infinity War, like there's a lot of stuff that happens like right after it that still have to do with the stones and the gauntlet, like the creation of the Illuminati, and Adam Warlock going crazy, and who else had? It was like mad people that had the gauntlet. It's a lot.
Oh yeah, that's in Infinity War, where Adam Warlock, with the Soul Stone. Adam Warlock pretty much bonded with the Soul Stone, and that created like his other side, Magnus, and that's when Living Tribunal had to come in that one. It was like, all right, he just shut down the whole power of the Infinity Gauntlet. Okay, it was that story. We can probably talk about that another day as well.
Like I said, you could talk about the Infinity Gauntlet War, Thanos. You can really make like a whole series just off of that comic book arc, because it's so much happened, and it's like the magnitude of it. You feel it as the more you read, you feel the magnitude of it, and it gets crazier. It's crazy, the stuff that happens.
Yo, and I also want to say that Thanos without the Infinity Gauntlet, this dude is OP as hell. Like he's one of the strongest. Yeah,
him beating Hulk in the movie was accurate.
That was light work. That was
he said, I don't even time for this. I got this, man. Watch
that was very accurate.
Yo, them saying, let him have his fun. Listen, that was light. I know a lot of people was upset, but listen, you gotta understand, Thanos is he's a monster. This guy is feared throughout the cosmos, like in Marvel. Like he don't need the gauntlet to do what he do.
Thanos didn't fear Hulk until they told him that he went world breaker that one time, and he heard that. He said, "Now I don't want to smoke with that man's right now. I'll let him chill."
Oh yeah, world breaker Hulk is a different.
Yeah. Once he heard about that
that's
shit,
a whole different monster, bro.
He said, "Nah, I'm good, Chief. Y'all got it."
But like me, in my opinion, I would think Thanos was even come ahead of that battle too, because Thanos that's a smarter, more
yeah, he would have outsmarted.
Yeah,
he would have outsmarted him in that.
Look what he did with the champion in the Thanos quest. Like,
true, but think about if you go back and think about that whole arc in World War Hulk. Think about what he did to the X-Men. Think about how he single-handedly took on all them motherfuckers.
Oh yeah,
that is true. And Hulk was smart. He was cohesive during the fights, man. Like that wasn't no dumb Hulk.
I remember the line he gave to Wolverine. He said, "You know, a boxer can't take too many hits to the head, right?" And then he beat the fuck out of Wolverine.
Oh yeah, World Breaker Hulk is no joke. And X-Men is like, I think X-Men is the most powerful team in Marvel. All the Avengers fans, sit your ass down, Avengers fan.
I was gonna say maybe.
Listen, X-Men had people on this.
No, wait. Which team though? Because
that's what I'm saying, bro.
I'm talking about X-Men overall. The X-Men overall.
Nah, you can't do that. You got to pick like one of the main teams. You can't.
Are they gonna do that movie where they fight? They fight each other.
You got to pick one of the main teams. Pick one of the main teams.
The mutants are way more powerful than any Avenger, man. That's a
fact. But then you got to throw out Reed Richards' son. Go and all that. I'm just saying, but
Yeah, but they not Avengers.
Magneto ain't touching Reed Richards' son. Come on,
that's Future Foundation right there, baby.
Yeah, they're not Avengers. I'm talking about if they were fighting Avengers, like, well, yeah.
Oh, if they fighting Avengers, then Captain Marvel about to dust all of them.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Nah.
I wouldn't say that.
All of them, bro. Stop this.
If I look
I'm an X-Men fan to the core. Captain Marvel does the only ones that I feel Captain Marvel will have a trouble with. Might be Jean if she
you got people like Nate Gray that would just wish Captain Marvel away, like, yo, you're not these people can warp reality. Captain Marvel, I don't think she can do that into that type of level.
Hold on. Then you get I do have to say that the Avengers do have some trump cards. They got Blue Marvel whole ass. They got Sentry whole ass. I'm not named after him, by the way. I just need to put that out there. People think I am. I'm not.
I'm sure most people don't even know who Sentry is. I'm gonna be honest.
But they really don't. Blue Marvel,
Sentry. If they know World Breaker Hulk, they gotta know.
They gotta know Sentry by default. Them two alone, actually, shit. Hold on, we going too far. Back on track.
Yeah, Bar, you got the floor.
Yo, Nathan Gray will body anybody in any Avenger. That's all I gotta say. This guy is OP as hell. You know what I mean? Like there's no stopping this dude. At the end of the day, you even got people like Cable. You know what I mean? Cable is OP too, but he's just
Cable. That ain't fair.
You know what I mean? My man just trying to survive out here. He's like, yo, this techno, what's it called? Technomorphic disease.
Techno-organic?
Yeah, that my man Apocalypse gave him. Like, he's using his mutant abilities to keep that away from him, so stop killing him. But all right, so here we gonna get into the shits. We're gonna be giving
into the bashing of the movie. Thank God.
Nah, we ain't gonna bash. We ain't gonna bash. We gonna get into the whole. Oh yeah, Rogue did fight Captain Marvel, even though she couldn't control that power though.
Control it.
Yeah, she couldn't control that. But we gonna get into the Endgame review.
I thought about that Marvel vs. Capcom 3 whenever
Level 5? X Factor? Can't control it. I can't control it. Let's go.
Oh god.
We gonna get into our Endgame Avengers Endgame review, guys. And I'm gonna fall back and listen to your guys' thoughts as far as the movie. You know, who want to take it first? As far as your actual review and your thoughts of this movie. Is it a good movie? What do you like about it? Go into it, man.
Chuck been kind of quiet. I think Chuck should go first.
I'll go last.
Damn.
All right, man. I'll go. Overall, I thought the movie, I gave it 8.5 at first, but I'm like, I had to take it back down to an 8. I wasn't really bothered by the pacing of the movie because I kind of knew the movies are connected. It's pretty much the same movie. It's just two parts to it. So, of course, they had to kind of deal with the after effects of the snap. And then once they realized Thanos already destroyed the Sloans, shit got fucked up for them. So I kind of understood the part, and I was just kind of just taking in, trying to get it in the movie. But towards the end, the whole the time travel thing kind of was throwing me off a little bit. And some of it kind of made sense, and some of it kind of didn't make sense to me. And they kind of didn't really. They kind of went against the grain, with the whole can't affect the past with the. And then they kind of did that at the end, but I'm not. I wasn't really. I was kind of confused on that. But overall, the most disappointing thing for me was the Hulk, man. Like for me, I'm a Hulk guy. I've always been a Hulk guy since I was a little kid, and I don't understand where they went with this character, especially after him not being in Infinity Wars like that. Literally like the first 10 minutes, and then he's really not there anymore. And I'm like, okay, he gonna redeem himself, man. He gonna have that moment. He never had that moment in this movie, and that was really, really disappointing for me. I was like, dude, they really like made the Hulk a joke. I mean, goddamn, like, bro, he doesn't like do that. It's not like a sitcom or whatever, man. And that was bothersome. I like Ruffalo. I think he's a good Bruce Banner, but I didn't like what they did with him in this movie. Now, as far as Thor, I thought Thor. They kind of making Thor a joke, which is kind of it is what it is. But I actually like Fat Thor. I thought Fat Thor was kind of dope, man. Him kind of living with the fact that, dude, I fucked up. I should have killed Thanos when I had the chance. I didn't do it. And then even him getting the kill after wasn't really that meaningful because shit was already fucked up and nobody really do nothing. So him going to depression and him going through that, I think that was kind of like a cool little aspect that they kind of put in the movie where he saw like this former, child of fucking where did they get from? Fuck. I can't think of the name. Asgard. Him to be reduced to living in a fucking beach house with his peoples. It's kind of like, damn, like he felt pretty bad, and he actually had like a mental breakdown. He was in depression like that, and that kind of like how they kind of built him back up towards the end. Thanos, I think, really stole the show. They actually let Thanos do something in this movie other than just, swipe here, do this and that. He actually got to fight. We kind of see that, he was hanging with some of these characters, even though I don't think he should be hanging with some of these characters. They let him, actually, get his hands dirty and whatnot. But I mean, Tony Stark, I don't know how I feel about that, man. It was a little shaky at the end for me. I mean, I did like the battle at the end, but Tony Stark doing that, I don't know if I like that or not. I don't know.
Tony Stark doing that is impossible.
That's what selfish bitch. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know if I like him doing that, bro. To me, that didn't really make any sense. But like I said, the end of the battle was really dope, in my opinion, just to see everybody on the screen like that. They definitely had like a lot of fan service going in this movie like that, man. So I say overall, it was definitely like an 8 out of 10. Just from like shit I seen on TV. I did like how they went back and kind of paid homage to some of the movies. Like the plot just got really kind of twisted and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because, they had to go back to the way back after Loki took the fucking Tesseract. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And then Captain America's finding his old self, and it was just weird, bro. I was like, I don't know what's going on, man. But like I said, overall, I gave it an 8 out of 10. They left out like a lot of loopholes in this thing, man, and hopefully they could clean up in Phase 4. I don't know how they're going to do it, but
how did he feel about? What's your theory on the whole Captain America ending? Him going back in time and living out his life. You remember, guys? Also, just want to let you guys know that this point of the show, there's going to be a lot of spoilers, so just give me a heads up.
Yeah, I didn't really. Well, we kind of seen that, when Hulk he was messing with the time machine, and how Ant-Man, he was a baby and he was older and shit like that. So we did see like the machine could kind of like do that. I don't know if Ant-Man went back that far or whatever, but you can see how it was able to change ages. So I don't know I don't know how the fuck he got old and he was sitting like right there.
So
I don't know how that happened.
Basically, what happened was, they didn't want to create like a new like time strip and they didn't want to pretty much kill this timestamp or this what I'm looking for, this timeline, because if they didn't return the whole stones to the respective timelines, it was going to create a little different, and timelines would go out of whack. So with the what's the sorcerer chick, the ancient one, she was pretty much explaining that there's one timeline, and if you were to take out the time stone, that's an example, and not return it, it would create a different timeline, and there was different situations that they got to deal with. So in order to prevent that, they returned the stones. Well, Captain America did return the stones to the timeline, but selfishly, pretty much it was a selfish move that he did. He didn't return to the timeline just as itself. He pretty much lived out the time. So when you see that he's old, he pretty much lived his days.
Yeah, I know that, but when did he like? Because him living out, I mean, like so how the fuck did he become Captain America if he lived out the whole thing? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's true. Remember, he went back as Captain America, so he couldn't avoid that. He went back as Captain America, but as Captain America, he's just like, I'm gonna settle down with homegirl. But in hindsight, that created like a different timeline. With everything that's going on, I mean, remember they said you can't really change what's going on here in this timeline, or you're going to create different little timelines here. So that's their way of like rebooting things, in my opinion, to say like, oh, this is a different timeline here.
Yeah, I definitely think they was going that route, and just them like playing with the whole time travel thing. Anyway, you could kind of see going forward, man. That's kind of where they want to go, because they have characters like villains that could manipulate time. You know what I'm saying? So they have like other strong characters that can do that. So I could definitely see them going forward, man. I mean, like I like one thing, like I was in the theater and people was like crying. I didn't really like get that. You know what I'm saying? Because like to me, like the moments, they didn't feel as epic as I want them to be. Like even in Infinity War, like when Thanos like did the snap, like at the end of the movie, like I felt something. Whether you like the movie or not, it was like, yo, that's crazy.
That one
like,
touched
we kind of knew. Yeah, like it's like we knew it was gonna happen, but I was like, yo, like you could kind of feel like the vibe in the theater. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like Marvel movies don't end like this. They always happy at the end and shit like that. And then it was like, no. And like with this one, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it was cool, Tony, sacrifice, but I didn't get that, like, oh man, fuck, I didn't get that. Even with fucking Black Widow, I didn't get that either. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing felt like,
yo, listen. I'll let you go, Chuck.
I'm finishing. Let me finish, and I'll let you go. But I didn't get that either. Like the only moment I really felt something is when my man Cap was about to get washed by Thanos' army, and then everybody started coming back. I'm like, oh, okay,
that was the emotional. Yeah,
that was like a really cool moment in that movie. But I feel like what they was trying to hit for with the deaths, I didn't get it, man. Like I was like, damn. But
I want to feel that. How about the fact that the deaths happen not from Thanos' hands, but from self-sacrificing?
Yeah, bro. I mean, and that's what I'm saying, man. Like Thanos, like you said, Thanos. I think they did Thanos good in this movie. I really like Thanos. he didn't care about his own people, bro. My man was like, rain, lightning. They was like, what about? He's like, I don't care about them motherfuckers. Do what I tell you to do. Mm-hmm. Like he was just trying to obtain his goal, man. He almost did it again, but I don't know how Thanos don't get to like kill anybody. I mean, it's kind of similar to Game of Thrones in a little way. It's kind of like people wish the Night King was able to like actually kill, or he kind of did kill Theon, but I'm just talking about like somebody big. Like it would have been cool if he killed Tony Stark or he killed Thor. It would have been cool if he did that. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't really kill Tony Stark.
No.
Nah, he's saying on the type of level.
I'm sorry.
I'm saying like Tony Stark. No, I'm saying like if Night King was to kill like Jon Snow, it would be similar to Thanos killing like fucking Tony Stark. It would have been dope to see something like that.
Yeah.
But they neither show gave us that, and that's my whole thing. But like I said, overall, 8 out of 10, man. It was a cool movie overall, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. Who want to go next on this epic show that we have here?
I want to go next just to talk about some points. But first off, before I start, I need to slander somebody's name. Tony Anthony Stark is a hoe boy. He's a fuckboy at the highest caliber. Unibeam sucks. Anybody who stands with man sucks. If you fuck with him in Civil War the comic, you was the dumbest bitch on the planet. And I love y'all, man.
Mr. Stark.
Like, first and foremost, people who read comics, most of us do not fuck with Iron Man due to what happened back in those 506.
Yo, Century, can I stop you for a second?
Go ahead,
yo, because that was always my sentiment behind Iron Man. Like, he's a cool character, but I never really rocked with him, especially after that Civil War shit. Like, bro, when I found out he was like a drunk and all that stuff, I was like, Iron Man is a cool dude. Like, Tony Stark did a lot of like fucked up shit. You know what I mean?
Bro, he was over here letting full criminal murderers hunt down superheroes because I gotta be Cap. What? Became fucking Commander of S.H.I.E.L.D. did what? Got fucked up by the Hulk twice. Man, fuck out of here. Tony Stark ain't shit. But on to the movie. My bad, y'all. I just had to get that out.
Yeah, I don't know. That's my man Century, man. He speak from the heart.
But to the movie, I kind of rate this movie in two ways. When it comes to being just a film, I think it's the way that we see certain movies like fucking, I'm gonna say Revenge of the Sith, fucking Empire, how we see fucking Scarface, how we see Godfather 1, how we see Godfather 2. Certain movies are just that criteria of like a benchmark of how to make a movie. Mm-hmm. I feel like Endgame, if you were gonna rate it in that sense, is up there with those movies. It's like it's as close as you can get to being a masterpiece as a piece of cinema film. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna rate it as a comic book film, I understand your gripes. Really do.
Yeah.
Like, for me, my problem is, and this is something I know they weren't going to do because, and this is something two-pronged that I have an issue with, two separate issues. First and foremost, Marvel and how they do magic. Magic in Marvel and the MCU is science. It's science. It's not magic. It's not like classic 60s Doctor Strange where I got a spell for that, let me clap your ass.
Yeah, yo, it's crazy, man, how they use the mystic arts and all that. Yo, there's no real magic there, in my opinion. My man, all he doing is creating shields and you know what I mean? Like, what's going on? They get warped.
Yeah, and my thing is, he has good visuals also to address something that somebody said, how it was Cap at the end of the movie. If you go by the assumption, and I know I'm all over the place in this, but bear with me because I can explain a lot of stuff because of how I was paying attention to how I was viewing the movie. And I know not everybody can view the movie the same way, and we aren't going to have all the same thoughts, but I'm just trying to get my thoughts and try to help some other people out to maybe see what I'm seeing to a degree. How they did Doctor Strange to me in the MCU will forever be a travesty. Then the second issue is like how you introduce magic and how you introduce cosmic entities, because they're gonna have to do it when they get around to doing the X-Men. But that's neither here nor there. Like, the problem is you can't introduce the concept of cosmic beings to a movie-going audience. They just they won't comprehend it. They just can't. Like, if they were to do if they took the panel of all the cosmic entities and translated that to like film, it wouldn't work out the same way because of the fact that they wouldn't understand why it is the way it is. Like, it's just certain shit like that it's like, if you're a comic book fan, I understand. But on the flip side of that, we got a bunch of neat little references to shit. Like if you remember at the beginning of the movie when they were all standing on the holograms, they made reference to an earthquake underneath the water, and I was like, I guess that nigga angry again, huh?
Oh, you talking about the whole Namor, the Submariner, people trying to, saying that's him.
You can make it's a reference to a degree because it's like only people who really read Marvel comics will understand that that's high key a reference, but otherwise it's just a little thing there for those who pay attention. Otherwise, it doesn't really mean anything.
Like I get the reference because Wakanda, Namor, T'Challa, they have beef. They go back and forth. But my thing is that they're making that reference when half of the universe is not there. So is Namor doing that with the people on the Earth? That's like, who is he really? There's no T'Challa there. There's a lot of people in Wakanda. Is probably half of Wakanda, I presume, is gone. You know what I mean? Like, I get the reference, but I think it's a little bit of a reach. But you never know. We're gonna talk about Phase 4 in a little bit. That's why I think I'm leaning towards it a little bit, but I think it's still a little reach.
Yeah, no, I understand it. When it comes to the time travel thing, the way that they established rules, the reason I like the way they did is because they basically say you have a preconceived notion of how time travel works from other movies like Back to the Future, all this other shit, where if you fuck up in the past, it affects the future in some aspect. They said that stuff still applies to a degree, but you can clap yourself and it really doesn't matter. And they did that with Nebula to prove the point. Mm-hmm. Because, for example, when Thanos came from 14 to now, what he did was effectively, he never existed in that original time frame doing that. Mm. So basically, he jumped. He's not really supposed to be there. He's an aberration of the highest degree. Mm. So in order to fix that, they had to clap his cheeks and delete him. He got ashed. And it comes back to the point of like, if you look at the rest of the movie was world building to explain the points of this is how it works, because we know that y'all gonna be like, this is a cop out, we know, so we're gonna explain this however well it works, and that was the movie. The best part of the movie is the last hour 20 minutes. That is the best part of the movie by far.
Oh yeah, I agree. There's a lot of drawn out stuff in that movie, but I understand that you're trying to build up certain aspects, but I just felt like, we've been watching these movies for over 10 years. Like, we got the build up, sir. Like, you know what I mean? We know Tony Stark and their relationship with his father. We understand that. We know that my man Cap likes Peggy and he would love to settle down with her. We understand that. We know these things when you're going into the past and trying to get these gems, these stones and all that. We understand that aspect of things. We just want, I would rather see a different side. We got that build up already. You already did that for all these years with doing these movies. We didn't need to get it again for the first 2 hours of the movie. You know what I mean? In my opinion, it was good. It was good, but at the first 2 hours, I felt like the ending didn't really like benefit from me going through that first 2 hours. Like, I felt like it was a little bit underwhelming from what you was trying to build up to this 20-minute fight scene here in the movie. But what would you rate the movie as far as I like that point that you made as well, as far as a movie itself? I can agree. I think it was it's a good movie. I'm not negating that. It's a good movie. But if a comic book movie, if I had
to rate it as a comic book movie, it's a 8.76. The reason I give it a weird number like that is because there's a lot of good things to like, but there's critiques and things that I understand that comic book fans like us are not gonna like, and I respect that. So that, like, if I were to get a score based off of that, that's the reason I separated the two. Because if you separate it, it makes more sense that way, because you're gonna judge it two different ways.
Yeah, makes sense.
And also, before I forget, my man Captain America, aka the original G, aka y'all can't really fuck with me, aka I let Iron Man win that first fight in Civil War because he a bum, aka remember when I told him that when he was in that coffin back in Civil War II in the confession, he came back and said, "Yeah, I let you win, you punk bitch."
AKA that's America's ass.
Yeah, okay, that is American. That is American thing. You right?
That
You
shit
right?
had me dying, bro.
There's a lot of little jokes in there a lot funny in that movie.
He got what he got what he deserved, to be honest. He got his one true ending. However, in getting that one true ending, he fucked up bad because he really
it's a selfish move.
It was selfish. It's like you respect it because it's like, yeah, he deserved it. On the flip side, it's like, Cap, fuck you doing, cuz.
On a character that sacrificed a lot of things for the greater good, what he did there pretty much, conflicted everything that he did before, Endgame. He wasn't looking at the greater good there.
If you remember the explanation that I almost said Tilda Swanson, the fucking Angel one gave, she basically said that if you don't return things to how they were, you basically, they say timeline, but what they're saying is separate universe. You basically deviated from the original pathing that you were already on. You fucked up big time. So basically, it's basically a reboot, but not a reboot. It's a soft reboot in terms of we're getting rid of characters we're not going to use or will not be seen for a long time, if ever again. And we got to build up a new slate of characters for y'all to fuck with, except for 2014 Gamora, who's around, and OG Gamora's dead, and she took her place. Be like
that. Yo.
Yeah, where the hell happened to Gamora? Anybody know?
She's basically trapped into the Soul Stone. Oh, you talking about the past Gamora?
14 Gamora is running around somewhere in space because she wasn't there at the end of the battle. And the other thing about that,
more than like they're playing to Guardians 3 too.
Yeah,
like my issue, my biggest issue with essentially I didn't know he was done or not.
No, you get go ahead.
One of my biggest issues with Endgame is it felt like one big ad. Because the reason why I say that is because the shit that happened with Loki and the Tesseract. First off, we know that Loki's getting a movie, getting a TV show for the Disney Plus. That's the setup for him.
Know. I forgot all about that.
It felt like a big ad with the whole, and then with Cat, I felt like they were willing to confuse motherfuckers that know how time works and how all this works and know Captain America, and rather get rid of the integrity of Captain America to sell you on the show that's coming with Falcon and Winter Soldier that's coming to Disney Plus. Then the setup, not to get it too ahead, but the setup for Phase 4, where Captain Marvel will be the head of the new Avengers. So it's like it felt like a big ad to me. One of the most egregious things, in my opinion, was Hulk. I will continue to say this until I'm blue in the face, or in this matter, green in the face. First off, when Hulk put on the gauntlet and he used it, that's not the issue I had. I'm like, all right, well, fine, whatever. It's affecting my man's ain't heal after. I'm like, wait a second. What? Heal, bro. Why you still burnt the fuck up?
The Hulk is in a sling, bro.
At the end at the funeral, my man's got on a little what you call those things that for people with broken arms? It's called a sling. That's
I'm gonna defend this here.
No. That joint pissed me off. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, really? I get it. I get it, Hulk fans, but
what are you doing here, bro?
If you know what, I can't even defend it, but I'm gonna try.
Nah. Don't waste nobody time. You can't defend that.
If they would have based the Infinity Gauntlet at power, kind of like how the comics would have, then I would have totally understood. Because regardless if you're Hulk or not, you don't have the being to even handle something like that. You're not healing. That could probably kill you. You know what I mean? The fact that he's still alive is a testament that he's powerful. So I can get that why he's still in the sling. I'm pretty sure he's going to heal eventually, but that we're talking
about Hulk, bro. My man.
It don't matter. You dealing with power that Hulk is. He can't.
Well, remember this is fathom. Gamma energy.
Yo, that's you see. That's the part.
We talk about Gamma.
You know what? You know what Persona?
Persona.
Now you make it say movie wise. Now I get
movie wise.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying.
Now I get why you're mad, because they talking about this whole Gamma energy with
Gamma.
With
this is what I'm saying. And what is Hulk? Pure Gamma.
So I'm like, yo, Nancy, what up? AG the Great, what is good? And Jamal, what's up, man? Thanks
again. In the movie, I'm like, no, this is not Like, what do you? What? Yo, that joint pissed me off to like a high degree, because I'm like, what are you talking about right now?
want to point out, and I hate to point this out, but it said low levels, and the fact that the concept of Professor Hulk being like that is not entirely like that's actually quite old to a degree. I know y'all know that though.
Yeah, Professor Hulk, he's pretty much in one tandem with Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner and Hulk is pretty much in one tandem. Like they agree upon doing what they got to do to get stuff done. So you have the smart side of Banner, and you have the strength of Hulk. They kind of nerfed. They kind of nerfed.
Yo, Hulk got nerfed down to the ground, bro.
Ever since Avengers 1, Hulk has been nerfed.
Yes.
They kind of nerfed
when he fought Abomination in that Hulk movie with Eric Norton, I'm like, hey, this joint fire.
That
like
shit,
that was a true Hulk right there.
Yeah.
Because like when he was getting his ass whooped, then he looked at Sue. Yo, you saw his muscles start getting bigger. My man's like, hey, listen, hold on. Let me beat his ass real quick. Or when the helicopter was about to explode and he did the Hulk. Listen, where's that Hulk?
Oh, the clap.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I need that Hulk. Hell, can I even get Hulk that was under goddamn Scarlet Witch's mind control? Can I at least get that?
I just want to point something out. Ever since Hulk got his ass whooped by Thanos without the Power Stone, Hulk been looking differently with things in life.
But see, that's the thing that I don't understand either, because it's like in Infinity War when he got his ass whooped, right? And he wouldn't come out. Like they didn't explain nothing within that 5 years that has him in this. That don't like have him in that form. Like it's like, oh well, I accepted it.
Yo,
come on, man! You gotta give me more than that.
In the Infinity Gauntlet, the comic, at first Hulk didn't want to join up with the whole Earth superhero team that Adam Warlock did, but basically he was just like, did this thing go offline?
No,
I think it did. 1 second.
That's still alive.
Is it?
It's still alive for me.
Hold on, I'm checking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, it's still live. Wait,
we live, y'all? Leave
are we live? Let us know. Oh yeah, I think we are. Yeah. Like so, Hulk didn't want to fight because he felt the whole that they abandoned him because they're scared of him and all that stuff. So he's like, I wasn't gonna fight, but they, Adam Warlock pretty much had to convince him like, yo, you about to fight somebody that's super powerful. Then he was convinced. I think they warped him anyway.
They warped Hulk. They warped Hulk down into the ground, which again. I'm very pissed off at that. And don't get it twisted. And we had this conversation kind of off stream, but I've started going into these Marvel movies with kind of like a open mindset and not necessarily a comic book purist mindset, because if I did, I would always walk out disappointed. So I kind of had to put that in the back of my mind. Mm-hmm. But again, there's certain things that happens within these movies that you can't help but question because it doesn't make sense. Like, why would you do something? And again, why is everyone so happy in these fucking movies when it's tragedy all over the place? Yo, listen. So, all right, so that's that with Hulk. I like how they used Ant-Man because Ant-Man's first two movies. I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't like them. They both trash to me. I'm gonna keep it.
I love the first one. The first one was crazy.
Them shits is trash. I'm gonna keep it a stack. The first one is a little bit more bearable than this Ant-Man and Wasp, but this Ant-Man and Wasp, I couldn't even. It took a lot for me to finish this because I'm like, I'm not feeling this. But I do like how big of a role they gave Ant-Man in this movie. And how important he was, and how smart he was.
Yo, he was the.
He's kind of stupid in these first two movies, but he's really he on this quantum realm, quantum physics. I'm like, all right, bro, I see you. Like, I'm digging that.
He was under one of the most smartest dudes in the world, Hank Pym.
Yeah, Hank Pym. So I respect that.
Listen, you remember one of your friends? It's like he always say something smart, but he usually dumb as shit. He a smart dumb.
Yeah, that whole that's America's ass thing. I'm like.
It was funny.
I laughed, but I'm like, we move it along. Like, yo, move it the fuck along. I like the Hell Hydra part. That was funny. I like that.
That was a reference too. I was like, holy shit.
The Hulk, having to take the stairs and all that. That was funny. Like that type of funny. I'm like, all right, that's
you know what's not funny? The Hulk when they got to New York and the Hulk was like, all right, let me smash things.
Yeah, I'm like, can y'all just do the fucking mission and move the fuck on? Like, you ain't got to do all this bullshit. So I did like that. I did the whole trying to dismiss how time travel is supposed to work and timelines and stuff. I didn't like that because you're pretty much telling the audience, listen, we about to take everything that has to do with time and throw it out the window. Either you like it or you don't. Thanks for your $15. Like, come on, man. Like, you gotta, you can't really, like, you can't bend the rules that much when it comes to time, because time is still the one thing that no one can control, regardless of what type of control you have over it. There's still always consequences and repercussions to time. They threw a lot of that out the window that I didn't like that, especially trying to dismiss Back to the Future. I'm like, hold on, slow it the fuck down. Okay, guys, like, you're not about to shit on one of the greatest franchises of all time.
But I get why they didn't use the whole Back to the Future aspect, because you would have had multiple Thanoses and multiple different timelines.
But that's the problem that I have here. You bend the rules so far to where things start to not make sense.
Well, as a counterpoint, not to interrupt, but like the reason that I think they did this, because because you have to think about it in the context of when Back to the Future movies came out. They came out when? Because I'm drawing a blank, right?
80s.
Back in the 80s, we did not have a real understanding of how quantum mechanics work. We have more of an understanding now to say certain things we saw in these movies pretty sure don't work that way.
That is true.
Oh,
I agree there.
You get into the Professor Hulk argument there, Century. You go
like
I get what he's saying, but at the same time, if I kill you, if I kill somebody in the past, do they exist in the future? No. If I kill somebody in the future, do they exist in the past? Yes. There's certain things within the time travel stuff that, certain rules are still supposed to apply.
Yo, bro,
and in terms of,
you got to make it simple for yourself. They pretty much just took the Dragon Ball Z approach with a time.
Oh no,
they did.
Hold on, somebody take the realms. I'll be right
back.
But yo, the Frozen, you go.
No, he said
I was waiting for everybody to go.
Oh, Captain Marvel only OP. Now, Captain Marvel is pretty OP, comic book wise, movie wise. It don't matter.
I ain't gonna lie to him. Can I keep it above 50 with y'all, my brothers?
Yeah.
Brie Larson with that haircut. I got a girl. I'm trying to talk. Brie Larson ain't got no man.
Yeah, Brie Larson, she don't like men, dog.
Man, I don't care. She about to find out.
But yeah, go ahead, Frozen.
Y'all pretty much got most of it. Another thing about I was gonna add what Persona said about the ad thing. They did some kind of agenda where they definitely wanted to kill Black Widow to give her own movie. I don't understand really with that.
Oh, yo, can I just say something real quick? I'm sorry to cut you off. Can I just say something on that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, that is some of the. I'm sitting in the theater like, what is like? I didn't even understand what was happening here. Because I'm sitting there and I'm looking and I'm like, didn't you just go on a killing spree because you want your family back, but you about to sacrifice yourself for my man's? What's going on? Like, so what do you like? Yo, let this bitch jump, nigga. Like, what you talking about? Like,
my man wanted to see his whole family. That's the reason why he came on here. But by the way, I'm kind of pissed at the Black Widow. I'm not saying that she's not a great character, but if you have a Black Widow movie before like a reboot of like a Daredevil movie, I'm gonna be hella mad. And I know it's gonna happen.
I've never heard anyone say let's. I hope they do a Black Widow movie. I've never heard anyone say that.
And she gonna direct it too. I think she's gonna produce
it. It's not even like it has nothing to do with.
That's the first Phase 4 film, isn't it?
No, Spider-Man. No, Spider-Man would be the last
Phase 3. Yeah. We're gonna talk about Phase 4. Don't worry, I got the screenshot for y'all.
Y'all ain't gonna like what I gotta say about the X-Men when it comes to Phase 4.
What else? I didn't like how the movie was so long. I felt like some of the movie could have been added to the first movie. 3 hours is too long for a movie. I thought that was too long. I was falling asleep like the first half, and
there was definitely a drag in the middle.
It was dragging, like Thor seeing his mother and all. I don't really think that was necessary.
Oh
and
my god! Mama, gotta bring back memories, man. Please,
Mama.
A lot of this stuff was stupid. Like I don't understand. Like they couldn't like speed it up a little bit. They were just all over the place. The final battle, that one scene. What do you call it? I didn't like how he didn't use the gems. Apparently, like, he was more stronger without the gems than in the first movie, and he was fighting tougher opponents.
Yo, listen, you know what they did to that movie that killed it for me? Just as, you know, like, this is the comic book side that came out of me, where I was just like, this is impossible that this happened. Where he was fighting Captain Marvel, and she was going toe to toe with him. Well, she was trying to pull the glove off on him, but at the end of the day, he definitely had the gauntlet on him, which by that standard, she shouldn't have any fighting chance against him, right? So, but she was going toe to toe with him regardless, and my man was struggling, and he took the Power Stone out and to hit her with a Power Stone. Like, that bothered me because the Power Stone is what powers the whole gauntlet. You need the Power Stone to have every other thing working. So if he took away the Power Stone from that gauntlet, that whole thing is getting like shut down, because that's the core. That's like the core piece of the gauntlet right there, to power all the stones so they can work in tandem. And I was just like, yo, you took that away. Like, it's small. You know, you guys are like, yo, shut up, nerd. But yo, that bothered me. Like, I was like,
wanted him to use the stones more, man. Like couldn't he just use the time gem and rewinded stuff? Like, he could have did that.
Yo, once he got the gauntlet on him, it should have been a wrap. You know what I mean? I understand for movie purposes, but it should have been a wrap right there, because my man it showed him that he harnessed all the power. It went through him.
Or do you think it's because, since it's from the past, he didn't know how it felt to use the gems, so that was his first time putting it on?
Nah, yeah. I don't agree. I don't agree with that.
He's still 2014 Thanos. He doesn't have any of the stones.
But he still had the knowledge of the stones on what they do.
He knew where some of them were. He didn't, like, remember 2014 Thanos is still fucking about doing other shit.
Because they showed him getting powered up with the Infinity Gauntlet. When he put it on, all that power imbued through his whole body. You know what I mean? So that's the same thing that happened in the Infinity War Thanos. So I was like, you know, right there should have been a wrap. And my fact, go ahead, Thanos. I mean, Frozen 4. I ripped this shit a new asshole, but go ahead.
I'm trying to think of things that I liked. Like, the ending battle was cool, but
it was.
What was this thing about Captain Marvel? Everyone's like upset that she didn't get enough airtime.
No, like, you know, I had shout out to my man Ken. We was having a back and forth as far as Captain Marvel. They said that it was lame for her to come in there and just kind of like save the day. And I was just like, because they think they didn't develop the character enough. I said she had her own movie, but I was just like, nobody is complaining about it. Yo, Captain Marvel is OP. That's what she does. She's a plot device changer for character. Like, if there's an issue, you call Captain Marvel in there, it is going to get done. No question asked. She is that powerful like that. So her doing that in the movie, I was like, yo, they just pretty much doing what she does anyway. You know what I mean? That's just her character. You know what I mean? And people was getting upset at that. I was like, yo, because I think it's a whole female and she's powerful kind of thing, how, you know, people are now. But the character is OP as hell, man, at the end of the day.
Yeah, you can't take that away from her.
You can't take that away from the character. Yo, she pretty much fended off the whole Kree army from Earth. She was like, yo, back that up, because I'm about to destroy y'all. You think she can't destroy one little ship that Thanos got? Come on, people.
Yeah.
That one scene with her and Spider-Man, I didn't like that either. It was kind of whack.
The whole Can I talk my shit real quick?
Oh shit!
Can I talk my shit? First of all, one thing that pissed me off about this movie, like I said, is the characters that I love. I feel like they're not portrayed properly, or wasn't portrayed good enough. Going with Spider-Man, I hate Spider-Man's portrayal in the MCU right now, because they make it seem like this Peter Parker Spider-Man is this hopeless kid that can't do nothing of himself. Oh, Mr. Stark, oh, I got the glove. Oh, I'm dropping the glove. Oh, oops. Like, yo, you're Spider-Man that you can cling onto walls and you can't hold on to a damn glove.
Did your crowd
I asked this question when we was having the debate earlier, Barry, but I'll ask it again. What the hell was Spider-Man swinging on in them scenes?
He's
it's just like the cartoon, fam. Like,
yeah, he was swinging on. He was swinging on pieces of the ship that was breaking.
The bigger question is, if you go back to that, if you want to use that logic, what the fuck did Cap do? What did Cap Shields do after he threw fucking Mjolnir off of it? Because it ended up back in his arm, and I'm like, how? Math.
I'm gonna get to that whole part as well. But yeah,
I didn't like that kill thing either. He was like kill mode activate, and everybody like cheered. I didn't really.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, listen.
Oh, it's the kill.
Listen, bro. I'm like, I'm not even trying to brag here. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, yo, and I just don't get how people can cheer when they see that kind of aspect of Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Because Spider-Man, if anything, he's a very independent superhero, but they make it seem like he's this little clutch behind Tony Stark. And shout out to my man Big Mike. He put it on Twitter. He was like, well, you know, Peter Parker, he looks up to Tony Stark. I said, pause it. I said, slow down right there. I said, Peter Parker does not look up to no damn Tony Stark. There's only one person Peter Parker ever looked up to in this comic book shit, and that's Max Modell, Horizon Labs or Horizon University that he went to, and all that stuff right there. Tony Stark, he did kind of look at him in a certain aspect, in a certain way, but then saw the true side of Tony Stark, and they ended up fighting, almost killing each other. So we got to cut that out. We got to cut that bullshit right now.
That's very similar to what remember that kid in Iron Man 3? I don't know why they put him at the end of the movie. You seen him at the funeral?
Yo, I didn't even know that was him. Somebody told me that was him. I thought
it was the same actor too.
I was thinking that was like Arnold Stark or something, like it was like a future something happened where, you know, like, you know, his true son.
Oh, and I please hope they don't make his daughter Iron Man. I do not want them to do that.
The second thing, Morgan Stark is not even Tony. Well, this is comic book side, but Morgan Stark is not even Tony Stark's kid. Morgan is a dude. You know what I mean? And that's Tony Stark's like nephew. You know what I mean? I'm just like, yo, all right, cool, MCU crap. But let's get back to the movie, right?
Wasn't that his like a cousin? If I recall,
yeah, it was like a cousin. Like it was. I think it was.
I hope she doesn't become Iron Man. I really hope they don't do that.
I'm about when we get to the Phase 4 stuff.
They kind of hinted. They kind of hinted it with the whole mask. But back to the whole end scene stuff with the shield and Captain America wielding Mjolnir, right? I get it. Captain America, they teased it that he was worthy. There's some aspects where, you know, he was even, you know, worthy in the comic books and stuff like that. But my gripe with it is the fact that they had this man traveling back in time, like he is the wielder of this hammer. Like it's like if you,
they made him look like Thor more than Thor did.
Like as I'm saying, like he's Thor. You know what I mean? And I was just like, nah, this you're not gonna get away with this. Okay, this is not gonna fly. Yo, people was out here cheering. I'm looking over like, I don't know what the, you know. I get it.
Picked up the other one. If you picked up the, what do you call it, Stormbreaker?
He did. They were switching up.
Well, the thing about that is, remember, Stormbreaker doesn't have the requirement.
Yeah, Stormbreaker doesn't have the requirement, but it's still harness. You still need a boatload of power to harness that. You know what I mean? Stormbreaker is just pretty much. It was made of like the same type of things that Mjolnir was made of. I think it was like a heart of a star or something like that. What was Odin that created for Beta Ray Bill. So it's you could treat it similar to like Mjolnir, but it's just just a different name. You know, to show that somebody else is worthy to become the power. You know, Thor. But they had Captain America with this hammer. Like, this man is really Thor, and I was just like, nah, man. I understand you using it, you picking it up to use it to help. That's cool, but you had this man traveling back in time, you know, with it. Like he summoned Mjolnir. It was like, all right, let's go. I'm back in time. That pissed me off. Secondly, the fact that Thor had two hammers and was struggling against a regular Thanos is beyond me. Okay, there is no way possible. I don't care if you MCU, it don't care. Thor wielding two hammers. This man is beyond godly. That he's wielding that much power. Thanos is a powerful being. Thanos without the Infinity Gauntlet is powerful, but Thor with two hammers, nah, son. There's no way Thor should be struggling with that bad. My man was struggling with two hammers.
I thought Thor was gonna go in when he had two hammers, but he didn't do much.
He was struggling. My man Thanos had him on the ropes. That's what Captain America came in, was like, oh, I got it, I got you
with no stones.
Yeah, you know, I was like, what the hell is going on here? You know what I mean? And the whole going back in time, and this is what pissed me off about the whole Thor character in this movie. They went back in time. He spoke to his mom and got a pep talk. You would think this man snapped out of it and was like, okay, I'm good now. This man was still in the same mindset that he was when they called him, you know, in New Asgard. Like, you know, he's just this drunken. Playing Fortnite. Yeah. They just meme this character.
I ain't like that either. Yeah. The whole Fortnite shit. I'm like, why is
yo,
this
that's
here?
what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, why are you even using Thor for that?
And then the way he got on the mic, when he got on the mic, I'm like, what?
I'm not gonna lie to you. When he got on the mic, I wanted him to go to the kid's house and beat his ass.
And another thing that pissed me off, like the whole Thor aspect about this movie pissed me off. New Asgard, they didn't even have him as King Thor. They gave it to Valkyrie to be a king. You can't name a female a king. It doesn't matter what type of girl, female power that you have out here. A female can't be a king.
She the monarch.
It's just
I was gonna say that. Is she the new Thor? I hope they don't make her like the new Thor. Like, I don't want, like, because isn't there like a female Thor in the comics?
Yeah, that's Jane Foster. Jane Foster. She was suffering from cancer, and you know, she was deemed worthy to because Thor was unworthy. You know, when my man Nick Fury,
original sin.
Yeah, Nick Fury became the unseen or the original sin, and he basically was letting him know why Thor became unworthy. And Mjolnir just went to Jane Foster. She became the new Thor and all that. But Thor is back, guys. He's back. 2018. Go read those comics. It's pretty good. But yo, Sick, what's good, man? What is good? Yo, AG, what's good, man? But I didn't like that, man, because I wanted to see that, yo, Thor is taking up this mantle of him being king, because that's what he's destined to be. But yet he's back into this, I don't know what I want to do. Yo, you just had a pep talk with your fucking moms.
He wants to hang out with
he want to hang out with the Guardians. Like, come on, bro. Like, you ain't learned.
Why is he cracking all those jokes with, like, what you call it? What's his name? Star-Lord and all that. Why is he doing that?
There's an answer to that, because of the fact that Chris Hemsworth didn't really like the characterization of Thor. They like, because of like Thor 2 to a degree, which I think Thor 2 gets a lot of undue hate, because that movie has a lot of novel shit. Like how those movies did, they said we're gonna move away from that and make them more in line with Thor Ragnarok type Thor, Guardians like shit. And when people say they like Guardians, I still don't understand why. I just don't.
I mean, I like the first Guardians of the Galaxy, but the second one I thought was complete utter garbage. Like Thor: Dark World, I feel like it was a good movie, but it wasn't executed right, because they had all the things to make a great movie, but it just wasn't executed right to do that.
Honestly, Ragnarok though,
I didn't like Ragnarok at all.
It was still better though than Ragnarok.
To me, it was better than Ragnarok, but in my opinion, I gave this movie a 5 out of 10. Man, I feel like comic book wise, you know, because that's what it is. It's a comic book movie. It's a 5 out of 10 for me, because
it's better than DC movies.
The portrayal of some of these characters was completely ridiculous. I think the overall plot of this movie was very complicated, where it didn't have to be complicated. They could have made a so much better movie, getting everybody together and fighting against Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, and you know what I mean, doing what they had to do. But they had to do this time crap. Thanos is weakened by destroying the freaking the gauntlet. I felt like Thanos' purpose was off, because you had him do what he had to do, but there was no other ambition. That's not a proper portrayal of Thanos, in my opinion, because regardless, when he snapped everybody away in the comic book, he still had ambitions, you know, to be even greater, you know, to show his godliness to like Mistress Death or whatever. But here he's just like, I'm done. I'm just gonna farm. I'm just gonna farm now.
He's gonna go have a seat and, you know, sit down, look at the sun. And,
yeah, or even, you just snapped everybody. You snapped out 50% of life. You said that you wanted. You pretty much say, you're gonna choose how people, you know, rise up from that. Why didn't they create that other like ambition to have Thanos be like, I'm gonna be the new ruler of the universe, and people's gonna see me as that person, you know, like that godly being of the, you know, the rest that survived or whatever, like, you know, typical villain stuff. But nah, he's just making eggs.
Yeah, that felt very anticlimactic, because like at the beginning when he cut his head off, I'm like, he's like, oh, I should have went for the head. I'm like, I feel like they shouldn't have did that. They shouldn't have had him killed like that because they did that purposefully to push this quantum time bullshit.
I definitely didn't like that
because that didn't make no sense. And then him destroying the stones, stop it, man.
Yeah, like Thanos ain't destroying those stones, man. That's crazy.
That makes no sense. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a lot of things that felt.
And look,
I didn't really
even with that being said, now the stones are destroyed. You pretty much conflicted your whole time theory because now in the future time, the present time, you have no stones. So what is Doctor Strange is going to use to protect against multi-universal beings like Dormammu? What are people? You know what I'm saying? Now that you don't have that stuff, what's the name? The Asian one was pretty much telling you is still coming to existence because the stones is completely destroyed. You're pretty much changing the timeline there now. You're pretty much creating little different dimensions here now because you have no defense, especially against Dormammu. You have no defense against it. You don't have the time stone. But we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, it's kind of rough, man. That for me, it definitely felt like, oh shit, dude. I'm like, they already had Thanos already. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, damn. It was like
that kind of the first 30 minutes.
It was like no build up to that at all, and they just wiped that nigga out. I was like, God,
yo,
Captain
Marvel came through and she was like, yo, let's get this dude, and it was let's get this dude. It's pretty much
that's why I'm like, you know, as just a moviegoer, you know, I enjoyed it. As just a moviegoer,
yeah, as a moviegoer, I can see
it was like I like the movie. I like it,
but yeah, I liked it. You know, I give it a 8 out of 10. You know, but as someone that read comics and stuff like that, you can't help but point out the flaws because there's a ton of them, as we all just mentioned, and there's even more. And the way Iron Man, cause I think it was you, Chuck. You said you ain't cry. I cried a couple times. I cried.
Yo,
I shed a few tears.
I teared up at the speech, not the death, the speech, where I was like, yo, I would start thinking about like all the Iron Man stuff. I was like, yo,
I was laughing.
There's a little legacy there. And that was a dope ass speech she was giving to his daughter, and all like, you know, what I mean, it's cool.
Oh yeah, that part was actually good. I actually liked that, but I'm just talking about like Iron Man.
When he did the Avengers Assemble, I was like, all right, those
were
like happy tears. Bro. Yeah, I got chills. Those were like happy. I was like super happy at that. I was like, oh man, because I really thought it was over for Cap. I thought he was about to die at that present moment right there. Then when the little circles came, I was like, oh,
sick. Yeah, Thanos like my gripe is Thanos wanted to wipe out half, you know, of life, right? Wipe out life, right?
Should have killed at least.
I'm just saying, like, after that, there was no other ambition for such a great task. Like, that's just all he wanted. I was like, to me, I felt like to make a better villain or to make a better movie, they should have added something extra with that, you know, snapping out of, you know, 50% of life out the way. Now there's another goal that he has that, you know, you probably want to control the universe or dictate the universe his way. You know what I mean? I felt like that would have been a much better.
He needed to have the rematch with Hulk. That's what he needed.
Oh, that's another thing. Like, I wanted to see that. No rematch with Hulk. You got Hulk at pretty much as his professor form. He is one with the Hulk, and no rematch. I don't even think they showed them together. They wasn't even together the whole time.
No.
All Hulk did was hold up like a building, and then he threw a car.
Yeah, that was pretty much it, right? And yo,
he
was struggling. He was struggling to hold the building up. He was struggling.
Because think about it, because the only time I really seen Hulk in the battles when they all came back and then Ant-Man brought everybody up from the bottom. I'm like, and I don't really remember him doing nothing. I didn't even see Hulk in the rest of the. Was he even in the fight? Did he do anything?
Scarlet Witch had a better fight against Thanos than
hey, she was about to murk that nigga, bro. Yeah. She was like, yo. She's like,
you killed my man, you bitch.
She was like, I don't even know you.
Yeah, she had a revenge. She had a revenge story right there, but the whole
man. Who bitch is this? That shit was from Thanos is crazy. He looked at her like, I don't even know. Who are you?
Like, who are you? All right, yo, guys. Like so we got what? We got a 2 8s. Chuck, what did you give it again?
I gave it an 8.
Oh, so we got 3 8s. Frozen, what you gave it?
7.
A 7. All right, so on average, I'll say it's pretty much like a 7.5. I gave it a 5. You got 3 8s and a 7 here on the show.
But as long as it's better than DC movies, it's okay.
Relax. This is a Marvel show. Relax.
No, I'm just saying that's what I see on the internet. Everybody's saying that.
This episode is a Marvel. We're gonna get to DC very soon. We're gonna have a show where we talk about their tier list.
Yeah, Shazam was very on point
Shazam was a great movie.
Shazam followed the comics quite a bit, but this ain't a DC show.
Good humor, good jokes.
Yeah, I like Shazam a lot.
But I felt like Endgame could have been much better.
Endgame definitely wasn't no Endgame.
I think y'all crazy giving this movie an 8. I think that's wild.
Like I said, because I'm going into it as just a movie going out as a comic book enthusiast.
Infinity War was a way better movie than this movie.
What?
Nah.
What?
Nah, I agree. No, I agree.
Hell no.
If you're looking at it from just a movie,
hell no.
Hey, Chuck, go get Sentinel. I'm gonna find Cap. Be about to hit him with a Marvel combo.
Man, explain to me how Infinity War is better. That doesn't even make any sense.
There's more fighting.
Where?
You saying that Endgame is better than
Infinity? You said Infinity War had more fighting than Endgame?
If I was comparing
it did. It had way more fighting. They started fighting at the beginning of the day.
Look at when they get to Earth with the Black Order. That whole scene was like a good.
Oh yeah, they kind of did.
That was a good 20 minutes.
And then Thanos fought them twice when he was on Titan, and then when he went to Earth, they fought him twice.
Yeah.
Before Thanos got there, they had a whole little war between the Black Order and
should have went for the head.
So, but I felt like Endgame battle destroys anything in Infinity War.
Yo, when they were fighting on Titan with Iron Man,
and he threw that moon at his ass.
Strange,
oh my god!
And he was using the actual stones like the warp reality, and he called the actual moon and slammed it on my man.
Slammed that shit down on him, man. That's real. That's real right there, bro.
If you don't think if they got the gauntlet off, would they been able to beat him?
No. If they got it off, it was a movie.
Yo,
no. Star-Lord didn't freak the fuck out.
Hold on. Speaking of which, when Cap tried to, I'm speaking of Endgame now. When Iron Man tried to pull the thing off him, and all the stones just miraculously got on him, I kind of like raised the eyebrow, like, huh? Them shits ain't just fall on the ground. Like, yo, you telling me you was able to grab off 6 stones like that? Come on.
Hold on, and they all fell in. Bop. I was like, okay.
Hold on. In all fairness to the movie, remember that suit is made out of nano machines. So he really just said, nano machines, son, I'm gonna take these. You don't need them. I'll just leave you with that hand. Hold on to that.
My man Iron Man has upgraded his tech though throughout the years. Bro.
That I am Iron Man line was pretty dope too.
The whole tech was dope with the whole switching up the stones. That was cool.
Listen, I will say this about Endgame. One of the best lines out of any Marvel movie I've ever seen is that line that Thanos gave. Couldn't live with your own failure. So where did that bring you? Back to me. Oh, yeah. That's a line right there, bro.
That was fire. That was fire.
That's a line, man.
And him just sitting there, bro, like Cell in the Cell game. I thought that was just dope, man. I really enjoyed Thanos in this movie more than Endgame.
I'm saying he was cool. He was cool.
He just felt like, I don't know. He felt like more alive.
No, but
you know why I enjoy Infinity War better? Because Infinity War, Thanos actually killed people. You know what I mean? My man took Vision out. He took Loki out. He took he almost killed. Almost killed Tony in there.
Killed Hulk fucking around.
He almost killed Hulk.
He Loki can.
Matter of fact, Hulk was about to die until my man
get
your ass up out of here, dog.
Handoff was like, all right, man, we gonna send you back.
You gotta go switch.
My man's hitting with the fun ball.
But yo, guys, let's get into Phase 4 for a second. This Phase 4 kind of
is this the actual list of movies, or is this
this is the one that I saw that leaked, and I was like, this looks interesting, so I put this one up here.
I don't see Fantastic Four coming that soon.
Like other ones.
I saw a whole bunch of other ones, but I feel like out of all of them,
that says Doctor Strange Illuminati.
Yeah.
That's fake.
Nah, this is fake. This is fake, bro.
And the reason why I can say it's a little bit fake because I see Black Panther, Moon Knight. Let's stop that for a second.
I got smoke for this.
Why would you name a movie like a character, another character name?
And the other fake one was when they had the piece of paper and it said Disney on it in Marvel, and it had like all of them. Like it took like a real good picture, and it had like 16 movies on. I'm like, that's
I seen one like that. It was a whole bunch. But the reason why I took this one because
Guardians.
Oh my bad. It felt like this one is like the most realist out of all of them that I saw. So if this was a
2022, no.
I know they're doing the Eternals movie. I know they're doing another Galaxy movie.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely doing another Captain Marvel movie. They're doing a Black Widow.
Damn.
I don't know if they're doing a Namor movie. That's new to me.
Namor still falls under Universal, but I think how it is now, I think he's like in the same boat as Hulk, where they could, but it really depends.
I think Marvel's looking at Aquaman's success like, I kind of want to get in on that. So Namor seems believable.
Namor is more of a Giga Aquaman. But
hey, yo, a lot of people don't know about Namor, man.
Namor thug, high key.
They're like, what is this? Aquaman 2? No, nigga, this ain't no Aquaman 2.
Yo, listen, as Namor's a cool character, but he is no author, man. Author will definitely body Namor. Let's just keep it real.
The reason I say this is because Namor is more of a savage than he will ever be. Let's just keep that a buck. Namor is willing to do things that Arthur Curry just ain't. He don't got the.
If they were fighting one-on-one, Aquaman is definitely being
Trident of Poseidon. There is no. That's it.
He can actually talk to the animals and all that. The sea
life.
Like,
is Arthur willing to kill a bunch of people for no fucking reason other than I'm Namor, bitch?
Namor more of a savage. He's more of a savage. That's
but if Atlantis is under attack, best believe Cap gonna be on the front. Like, listen, bruh, go ahead on. If he don't move on, he definitely will die.
Yo, Infinity Geeks, what's good, man? Endgame was simply a constitution of Infinity War, and was only meant to button up the story. Yeah. Namor is a mutant. They'll put him Storm in B2 Black Planet. Oh, Black Planet Storm.
They have to. I don't think it's gonna make it in time. I don't think we'll see X-Men till like 2025.
Remember they said that.
We're not about to get no like Fantastic Four, X-Men, or none of that.
I think we're gonna get a Fantastic Four movie.
They gotta do the casting.
Wait.
They haven't been in the castings yet.
Can I throw out like a quick list of things that I think they're gonna do in like the order that they do them right quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we got Black Widow, we got Eternals, we got Black Panther, we got Doctor Strange, we got Shang-Chi, Guardians 3, Ant-Man and Wasp is getting a sequel. Apparently, they're doing a Ragnarok sequel. I don't know why. If they're gonna build up to, and this is just my idea. When I see Annihilation, if you remember how Annihilation panned out, you cannot do Annihilation in a single movie. That has to be built up to. You would have to introduce a lot of characters and concepts. Like, you need the Negative Zone to be introduced for that. Cosmic Control Rod. Like, you got to introduce a lot of shit. So if you build up to that, you have to introduce Nova, because Nova has to clap them. Captain Marvel can be there. I don't really care. Who else? You got to introduce Adam Warlock. You have to have I think 06 is when they actually had Guardians of the Galaxy, and that old roster is called Guardians 3000, if I recall correctly off the top of my head. They're getting introduced. So it's a lot of shit you got to introduce cosmic-wise to get to if you're going to do a Nihilus. You just don't do a Nihilus in a single fucking film. Mm-hmm. That's just disrespectful to that art, which is, honest to God, top 3 in Marvel. You can argue that. You might want to put Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet up there with Crusade. Sure. I will put Annihilation Conquest on that same level. I will do that.
Yo, so you saying that you can't introduce you can't introduce the Fantastic Four without some of these things? Or what? I missed the beginning of what you saying.
If you're gonna do Annihilation, the Annihilation wave, you have to introduce Fantastic Four within within Phase 4. If you're gonna build up to that, they have to be around because they introduced the Negative Zone.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, Fantastic Four definitely needs to be in Phase 4 because with them you missed the opportunity to introduce a lot of the cosmic entities, but Fantastic Four is unavoidable not introducing a lot of these because they. Out of all the groups, they're the one that really met up with these entities a lot.
So if I were going to list it out, Far From Home, put that to the side. Eternals.
They have an Eternals movie, so
yeah, I would do Eternals. Then I do Fantastic Four. I rush job Fantastic Four. X-Men is not going to be here for the entirety of Phase 4. They don't get you introduced to Phase 5. There's a reason I'm saying that too. You don't introduce the X-Men until later because of the fact that X-Men has way too much baggage from Fox, and you need to give them a break, a long break. Because folks gonna be complaining.
You can do you can do an entire phase just off of X-Men, because you can do never mind this trash Dark Phoenix, but you could do a build of the Dark Phoenix. You could do House of M.
Yo,
you could do Apocalypse.
You saw the latest trailer? You saw the latest trailer to Dark Phoenix?
It looked kind of hot, bro.
It looked kind of good.
Listen,
I'm not going in front. I don't.
Hey,
care.
I think it'll be better than X-Men 3, man. It'll be better than X-Men 3.
I think it's gonna be better than X-Men 3.
I
don't know, man. Apocalypse trailer looked hot too.
No, it didn't.
Don't bring that up, man. You can't bring up Apocalypse.
No, it did not.
Apocalypse trailer looked
Apocalypse trailer did.
Yo, Apocalypse looked like dude from Power Rangers. We all knew that, man.
Bro, that shit, niggas was clowning him the first time.
Yo, if there's one person that should have been CGI, Apocalypse is it. That should have been all CGI, man.
They did have the best version. They did have the best version of Storm, though.
True, but
I ain't like
Apocalypse. They really. Man, that's crazy, bro.
Yo, so if they do Eternals movie, you think they're gonna actually mention like Thanos' like origin or anything like that?
Yes, they can do that passively and retroactively talk about that. There's a reasoning why the Eternals never popped up until now. Like, because of this fact, I feel like there's a lot of concepts they're going to be introducing through Eternals. I don't think we get everything we want, but I think we should get that. I think the Watchers need to have a bigger role in terms of like actually doing shit, but I don't know if we get that. And this is something funny. I do want the unseen to be a thing in Marvel, like some dude who just walks around and claps the fuck out of whole civilizations and shit. But it can't be Nick Fury. It has to be someone else.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's who I thought they was hinting at with my man Red Skull, but I know he's not the unseen. But they kind of made that dude look like the unseen. I was like, yo, what is going on here? So yeah, I do think they're gonna have another Guardians as well. But Faith,
that's already confirmed.
So Thor's gonna be in that one.
More than likely,
more
yes.
than likely.
Well, they kind of like pretty much put it out there, like
Thor's gonna definitely replace Gamora on that shit.
Yo, I just me personally, I just want to see more cosmic entities. I always love the cosmic entities in like Marvel stuff, and the fact that you had Thanos as like a villain, you can introduce so much other cosmic entities. But I would definitely want to see a Fantastic Four movie. I feel
like the next main villain going to be either. I think it's going to be Doom or Galactus.
So let's get into that, man. Let's get into.
Oh, my fault. I mean, a fast forward. I thought that's what you was kind of.
No, that's the next topic right here. As far as the next MCU villain, I have some pictures here of certain villains, but it can be outside of this stuff here. So on here I have Doom, I have Dormammu, I have Super Skrull, I have Magneto, I have Galactus, Mr. Sinister, and one of my favorites, Strife. But who want to go first as far as who do you think is going to be the next overarching villain in the Marvel Cinematic?
I think it's either going to be Doom or Galactus.
I don't think there's nobody on this list.
Yeah, I would say Annihilus is my shoe-in personally because of how you can build him. If I were going to go after that, I would say Kang is an option.
I was definitely going to go Kang. I think
Kang is an option. Galactus is an option due to the fact, like, when we think about these arcs, Doom...
Galactus, by the way. Wow.
I know we all fuck with Doom. I really do, but Doom is kind of
big, bro.
If you're gonna make Doom big, you have to build the Secret Wars. Like that's your build there. And to get the Secret Wars, you have to introduce Owen Reese, the original Beyonder. You would have to do a bunch of other stuff to lead up to
that. Let me stop you right there, Essential. You know why I'm going to tell you why that don't make sense? Because they had Civil War with some characters that wasn't even a part. Listen, I think we have to put that mindset of who they have to have in these movies out the window, because they're doing these movies with some characters that ain't supposed to be here, or
like the Beyond and Owen Reese molecule, man. I feel like those kind of characters can't be introduced yet unless you do like a fantastic, type 4 movie.
And that's the reason I say rush. Or if you're gonna do any movie and rush that to the forefront, Fantastic Four has to be the first one.
Fantastic Four should have been the first ones, regardless. You know what I mean? Because Fox definitely had it. Like they're the core of everything, man.
Are they gonna do origins for all these movies, or are they just gonna just like?
Yes, everybody's gonna get it.
I don't think they need to do origins for everybody though.
They're gonna explain. I don't think they're gonna do a full origin movie, but they're gonna explain. Like, I personally think the next overarching villain is gonna be Dormammu, right? But Dormammu was kind of introduced in.
You're right.
Well, he's not in the loop no more. The Time Stone is gone. You know what I mean? In that present timeline, the Time Stone is gone. Thanos destroyed the Gauntlet. So Dormammu,
is he going to work with that other guy? What's his name that was in the movie that became
Mordor?
Yeah, Mordor.
I do remember for a fact that the director and writers for that movie said that they're going to base the next movie off of the Last Days of Magic, and if that's the case, then that shit gonna be flames.
That's what I'm saying. I think Dormammu's going to be the overarching enemy throughout the next phase. Because if you look at it, outside of Galactus. You know what I mean? Like Doom is a beast, no question about it. But Doom is a beast because he's smart and he outwitted a lot of people to get certain artifacts and stuff to make him great. But these two characters, Galactus and Dormammu, is just already like monsters. You know what I mean?
He don't need to like, sir. Yeah, I feel. I mean, I think Kane could work though. Just because they already have like the whole time traveling thing already, and they can kind of future self, Iron Lad. They could do a lot with that, and I think it'd be pretty cool because like I said, they already have the quantum realm and all this shit already kind of set up. So I just don't think he will be like popular because I don't think a lot of people know him. Because you heard of Thanos, like everybody heard of Thanos, where you don't even have to read comic books. You just know, certain people know fucking Galactus, you know what I'm saying, or Doctor Doom or Magni. You know these names, but King is kind of one of those
obscure.
He don't really get the
obscure
publicity that the other ones do. But I feel like if they want to do this time, I think he will fit the best, and they can actually do a lot. Of course, Fantastic Four has to be there, but they could do a lot with that, and they could kind of explore the whole time travel thing. And I think it'd be pretty cool to go that route. In my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like the first villain for Fantastic Four gonna be Silver Surfer.
They already tried that in the film.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that.
That was Fox. That was Fox that tried that. You feel me?
That movie was Fox.
Phase 4 gonna be Galactus is coming type ordeal.
Cloud, like what's popping, y'all?
That's what I'm saying. Like, because that's kind of what they did with Phase 3 with Thanos and all that. How many end credit scenes was he in? He's like, fine, I'll do it.
What's the difference between like Thanos and Galactus? Like Thanos is a beast, but Galactus you
gotta fear that, bro.
Yeah, that's just a completely different.
Galactus walking around.
You can't drag ass with that, man. Like you really gotta go for the head. Like you can't.
There's like literally nobody will be able to stop Galactus.
There's no gauntlet to save them, or is there? They're not gonna have a gauntlet.
You would need Ultimate Nullifier. Kind of works, but kind of.
Yeah, I mean the Ultimate Nullifier. That's just an OP ass.
That's my thing. There's a lot of items and shit that I don't know will ever get introduced. And the reason I'm like, if you introduce certain concepts through certain movies, you get that way because now we don't have the problem of everything segmented and certain people own certain shit. Now it's just like, oh, we got it now, so we can do it. Fuck it.
Yeah. I mean, that's like a plot device too, man. That kind of
Actors would be dope though. I think Silver Surfer is another character that, when they tried to do that in the other movie, man, like it even started off pretty good. I'm like, okay, he looked badass, and then
it went to garbage.
It went there when Doom took his board. My man was in the plastic suit walking. I'm like, bro, I was literally walked out the thing. I was so mad. I'm like, this man is walking around, bro, in this plastic suit. Doom is on the board. I'm like, I don't know, like this is a disaster. And then we already know that about the cloud, bro. Not Xbox, but Black.
Black clown.
Yo, he didn't make the budget. He ain't made the budget, man.
Hey, Jabbar, you about to be upset, man. That was the power of the clown.
That was the power of the clown. But you all know how that power became.
Yeah.
The man was an Xbox for the Xbox. Let's go.
Oh my god.
That was like one of the worst disasters I've ever seen.
That was cloud computing.
Man, let's go.
Like I say, he looked dope, man. When he first, I'm like, damn, that's Silver Surfer on the big screen. That's crazy. And then it was this.
And you got Galactus, big ass stadium ball.
That shit hurt, right? I was like, yo, they really made this? Bad, terrible movie. Terrible.
You know what the fucked up part is? Michael Chiklis is still a great Ben Grimm.
Yeah, he was good. I liked him a lot, actually.
Just
I like the dynamic between him and what's the name? Chris Evans. It was good.
Jessica Alba can get the fuck up out.
I do feel that.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling Jessica Alba. I feel like
she looked too good to be Superman. I'm gonna keep it funky.
She looked too good to be a scientist.
Nah. I'm not even trying to say that. I'm just saying she looked too good to us to be like a hero. Like that sounds worse.
What?
You know what? I'm gonna fall back.
Yo, Scarlett Johansson, come on, man, stop.
Yeah.
Who did cast Angelina Jolie? She's in the MCU, right?
Eternals.
Oh, she's gonna be in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wonder who she gonna be.
We don't know.
Gonna be that pretty face walking across the screen smiling. Hi,
but nah, I do feel like, for me personally, I do feel like I definitely can see Super Skrull being in here because they already introduced the Skrulls, and you know, I can definitely see him being teased if they do have a Fantastic Four movie. I can definitely see him teased, but I do really think that Dormammu is going to be the next.
You're forgetting one movie that's going to be there, a third Spider-Man movie.
You think people don't really?
Spider-Man Graduation.
Yeah, they're gonna have a third Spider-Man movie with the Sinister Six rushed in there, I guess.
I mean, they have 3 out of the 6 required.
Are they gonna get the deal back, or is it just temporary and they're not gonna renew it?
It's a free movie deal.
Yeah.
So after that, they can't use them anymore.
I think it's more.
I think what they're gonna do is they'll probably migrate to Miles.
Nah, I don't say don't rush Miles, man.
Hold on, let me go look at the chart.
Because you know what, it's gonna be hard to introduce Miles because you having Peter. Story. That's what I'm saying. You having Peter Parker portray as Miles. That's Miles' story.
What I tell y'all about this MCU, it don't matter, bro. Like yo,
like how are you going to introduce his story?
It don't matter. Fucking around, fucking Miles will be trying to get with Gwen. Like, yo, I'm telling you, man.
And then you got the whole Spider-Man universe, which is like separate, that they're doing like all this other stuff, which isn't even connected at all.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so can I look at the chart?
I feel like with Dormammu, you can introduce multi-universes, and you can get like a this is how they're going to introduce like Thanos coming back. They're going to have a different universe of Thanos being brought or something like that. You know what? I'm not even going to go too hard because you remember the first episode we had our predictions with Endgame. It was completely wrong. Everybody was like, yo, they might introduce Galactus. And,
yeah.
Shit, people thought the secret character was gonna be one of the Fantastic Four. X-Men. I wanted to see like a. It ended up being Pepper.
Yeah, I wanted a suit tease at the end, like Pepper Potts in a suit, like a Fox character or something. At the end.
Yeah, I want to see a tease like in Spider-Man Away From Home. They can tease Fantastic Four. They can tease the Baxter Building if they wanted to. That's to show it. You know what I mean? Like, oh look.
When tease Doc Ock, I call it a day.
When Reed Richard buys the Avengers Tower, like, hey, y'all not using this, right? Let me cop that.
No, actually, they might tease Green Goblin.
Is Norman Osborn, aka the Green. Hold on, let me chill.
They might tease him, yeah.
Either Green Goblin or they might tease. I don't even know, man. Knowing Marvel, man, they might tease Hamburglar or something.
Yo, as far as a villain, any villain that you have here on this splash screen, who would you want to see like a basically like a origin movie from a villain from this splash screen?
Magneto.
Don't
the most.
Magneto. I like Magneto a lot, so I would say
Magneto.
I would say
And Galactus, bro. I want to know, bro.
Doom has the most interesting story out of the set, though.
Galactus got a dope origin story. Gallon.
Yeah.
And what he pretty much was traveling through the multiverse, and he got sucked up out of it into this universe, and I forgot how he became Galactus, but it was a cool. And what was that dude that was killing off all them Galactuses, yo?
I know what you're talking about. Oh my lord, hold on.
Yo, there was a dude that's traveling to like multi-universes, like yo, wiping out Galactus, and this is when Galactus actually died. And that's when Franklin Richards, after that story, like resurrected him. Was like, you gonna be my hero, my nigga. Like that shit's crazy. I forgot dude name though. Yo, Ken is in the building. He said Somagora. Samagora. Ain't that the little black no, the little
the octopus.
Yeah, little tentacle joint.
Yeah.
I do OP as hell, man.
Sinister. I think Sinister is pretty.
Sinister is the movie I want to see, man. Obviously, Magneto's my favorite villain on this splash screen here, but Sinister is that guy, man.
He's pretty badass. So, yeah, I'll definitely fuck with Sinister.
Sinister started a lot of stuff. let's keep it like that, yo. And he did one of my favorite characters, Gambit. My man kind of messed that man's life up a little bit, but it's cool. It's cool though, man.
No, I think overall, I think this is a pretty good one. You just have to wait, man. I don't know what Marvel gonna do, bro. Because
are they gonna announce them all at like San Diego, or they're gonna just like keep it quiet?
Oh yeah,
they should have an official tease on Phase 4.
Quiet, nah.
We don't even know if they're gonna be there
this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't they skip a year every year or something like that?
They weren't there last year though.
Oh, so they might be there.
They might not be there this year because they said they're taking a break from the movie stuff. Spider-Man is the last movie. Spider-Man is the last movie for this phase, and they said they're taking a break.
They're not going to be at Comic-Con?
Well, they said they have nothing planned for next year, though.
So are they still doing like 3 movies a year, or they're going to do more since they got
3 to 2?
Nah, they probably going to do less.
They said 2 to 3 each year. That's the what they do.
Well, give time for a break from everything.
But yo, guys, I'm definitely going to tease the next episode from Comics to Movies podcast before we close this show up, and it's going to be a very personal one here, because we're going to be talking about the main man, the greatest hero of all time.
Oh God, no,
Superman.
That's Star-Hulk.
Iron Man with the gauntlet.
Nah, y'all being very disrespectful.
Wait. What I was told by the General Republic?
Start.
Are you talking about Black Panther?
You talking about Deadpool?
Black Panther.
You talk about Deadpool dressed up as Spider-Man?
Oh shit!
Oh, you being very disrespectful.
Man,
You talking about Parker when he's swinging through the city? He's like, you have the right to remain silent.
We're gonna be talking about the greatest, Mr. Peter Parker himself.
Bombay.
Hey, Webhead. So basically, in this episode, it's going to be going through some of my personal favorite, storylines from, Spider-Man, and the guests. If you guys have anyone that you want to talk about, we can talk about it as well. We're going to confine it a little bit, and we're going to also be talking about our Peter Parker tier list, and we're going to have our Spider-Man tier list as well, movie wise and stuff like that. And it's going to be a fun show, but this one is going to be when we in May, so this one's going to be in June. This is going to be a June show, and hopefully you guys are here as well as we talk about Hey Webhead,
the most boring superhero of all time.
You all wildin'.
You know what's sad? When all the other like his clones and even Doc Ock are more interested in Spider-Man than him.
Who Doc Ock?
Doc Ock, Klain, fucking Ben Howard. Like, I listen, that Scarlet Spider run is one of the best modern day Spider-Man runs we've had. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Oh yeah, you talking about Superior Spider-Man?
No. It was, remember back after Spider Island, they did Scarlet Spider as a separate series for Klain.
Oh yeah, because they brought back my man the clone dude. Damn, I can't remember his name. Yeah, Kane. They brought him back, and they actually made him good. Like he's a good guy now.
That shit was he. Superior Spider-Man now was lit. Spider-Man is back to being lit after a dude was writing it for 10 years, and like somebody.
That's the one where he's the ghost.
Yo, Superior Spider-Man became my favorite Spider-Man storyline. Yo, like.
Oh, it's really good.
I respected Doc Ock for that, yo. Like that became like my favorite because it was Green Goblin, but Doc Ock is definitely my favorite villain for Spider-Man now. Like Superior Spider-Man is probably the greatest Spider-Man story ever, in my opinion.
Doc Ock was like, "Listen, I piped your grandma. I don't even want to pipe MJ. She ain't shit."
I mean, I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna be a better Spider-Man, a superior Spider-Man." He actually did that.
and then Norman showed up and was like, "You shit, you trash."
Yo, but in that storyline, we really found out like, yo, my man Peter Parker was really holding back on these villains because he was fighting Green Goblin, and he punched the shit out of him. He was like, yo, he almost killed him. He was like, yo, so this is how strong this man is. Like he was really holding back on me. Like, yo, he could have easily killed me with one punch. You know what I mean? But shit was lit, man. But we're gonna talk about that storyline though. We're gonna talk about Spider-Man versus Deadpool. I feel it overrated. Spider-Man versus Wolverine though. Now you're talking to me. Now you're talking my language.
Yo, Wolverine versus Hulk.
Oh, that's classic. That's classic.
Man, listen.
But yo, guys, we gonna close
Thor?
this. You already know Hulk can't beat no Thor, man. Yo, one of these episodes we got to do like a versus series, like like a versus debate. I think that would be cool.
Hold on, Heart of the Monster Hulk can't climb it up. Wait a minute.
Yo, since you don't start you telling me. Yeah, see, this is what Hulk fans always do, right? They always bring up like the strongest versions of Hulk, and then when I be like, "Yo, King Rune Thor," they be like, "No, man, you can't do that."
Wait! Rune King Thor gets clapped by Heart of the Monster Hulk. We can have this conversation at a later date. You don't want that smoke.
Listen, you are wilding out here.
You can believe
it. There is no version of Hulk that can hold its own against Galactus. You need to stop this.
Wait, what? How we go from Thor to Galactus? How we go from Thor to this show, bro?
This is why I'm trying to compare the
You're not
power
taking over by the reality stone.
Wait. This is why I'm trying to compare the power that we're talking about here. There's many instances where Thor has pretty much held his own against Galactus.
Hold on, J-Bar, do me a favor. When you get a chance, look up Heart of the Monster Hulk and then come hit me up on Twitter. We gonna have this conversation.
I ain't looking up no Heart of the
Somebody
Monster Hulk.
snap Barry, please.
Because y'all are disrespecting King Hulk. I mean King Thor, old King Thor.
King Hulk, you got it right the first
time. Y'all are disrespecting Rune King Thor.
I should get the Mind Stone real quick.
That's all I gotta say. Go look at Rune thing. Yo, matter of fact,
you mean the unworthy bitch who can't pick up one?
Look at the people that Thor is fighting compared to who Hulk is fighting. Y'all need to cut it out, dog. Yo, my man Thor for Gore.
Listen, man, Thor fat right now. I don't think he's getting to no fight.
He did not. Yo, he got his two hammers.
Bro, nobody can kill that man. As long as fear exists in the universe, he's gonna be around and ain't nobody clapped him.
Thor killed Gore when he got the two hammers and merged with a necro sword.
And still couldn't clap him.
He killed him. He definitely killed him. Gore's done.
He came back though last time I checked.
Oh, I never read that for him coming back, but I know he was done. Gore's done.
Already stuttering.
But at the end of the day, listen, Hulk can't fight that man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You know what I mean?
He can't fight a lot of folks.
Nah, y'all wild.
Last 5 years, Thor been getting his
can Thor beat an Infinity Gauntlet Iron Man? I'm telling you. It ain't happening, bro.
Yo, Thor can't even do a damn fight.
That's all I'm saying, bro.
Y'all need to stop hating.
What Iron Man say at the end of the movie?
Hold on.
What Iron Man say? I am Iron Man. Can he defeat that?
Y'all need to stop hating on the greatest and the strongest Avenger.
Can Thor beat Captain America holding his weapon?
Facts.
Can Thor be who?
Captain America holding his weapon.
One is tactical, the other is not.
Of course.
Thor try to call his head when that shit go to Captain America. You ain't getting no power over here, boy.
With that being said, we are going to close this thing up here.
already got roasted on his own.
These guys are being very disrespectful.
Could you imagine that though? Thor calling his hammer, that shit go. No, nigga, you ain't get.
No, that's yours.
Cap over there play wide receiver. He intercept that bitch like, hey, I need this.
Dude be like, yo, World Breaker Hulk. This dude, yo, World Breaker Hulk can't even beat Sentry. Came to a standstill.
That was hold on, can't even beat, but it was a tie. Wait a minute.
Hey, yo, listen. Before we close this, that's what I'm saying. It came a standstill. But before we close this, there's a reason why they didn't have Thor in that part with World Breaker Hulk. There's a reason. Dead. Well, he wasn't dead. He was just unworthy at that point. But
no, he was dead at that point. Remember?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't dead. They had
back when that happened. Back when that happened, he was dead at that point.
Yeah, I know how he could become worthy. Be Hulk.
Think about without the hammer. Think about the time period.
Yo, Hulk.
What if he picked up the hammer?
Who?
Hulk tried.
No, Hulk definitely got a hammer before with what you call it, with original sin.
He did throw.
Remember that vision where they had Hulk and I think it was Juggernaut that had the hammer, and my man looked like crazy.
Oh, you talking about
with Serpent when he created all them hammers and gave everybody hammers.
Hold on, I have this shit on my computer.
Oh, Fear! It was not Original Sin. Fear itself. Fear itself. My bad. We was talking about Original Sin with Nick Fury, but that's why I think about that. Fear itself, yo. Look at that. Fear itself and Hulk. That's a crazy image. But yo, we're gonna close it up here, guys.
Ain't no Ruin King Thor. Cap got his hammers.
Yo,
mounted on his wall.
You gotta look at Ruin King Thor. Like Thor inherited like Odin's power. So he has Odin force, where he calls Thor's force. There's no way Hulk is being like Thor. Like it's not happening.
I got a question. You stand in Thor right now, and I respect that, but
I'm a Thor fanboy.
Here's my thing. I respect that, but last time I checked, man, wasn't Odin trying to pipe the Phoenix for? That tells me something. Never mind.
Yo, Odin is a disgusting old man.
Be respectful to your friend.
Well, he ain't here no more. But yo, let's close this up, guys. Sentry, man, do your outros.
I'm Sentry. I read comic books currently, and I play video games. I don't know what else you want me to do. I host a podcast on Fridays, except for this Friday, because there ain't shit to talk about, man. I ain't talking about Epic Game Store again. Fuck that shit. Every Friday at 5 p.m. Chicago Savage Time. And that's it.
That's Chicago Savage Time.
CST.
Hey, yo, you crazy, man. Hey, yo, that's what's up, man. Well, it's good to have you back on here, man. Definitely a pleasure. Thanks for coming through.
Anytime.
Yeah, man, we got my man Upchuck Gaming. Yo, Upchuck. I said Upchuck. Yo, Upchuck. Yo, Chuck, man.
My man. What's up, man?
Yo, you know when I get tired, when I just start saying
I know. I know. Believe me.
You start saying things that don't make sense.
Like long tournament nights, bro. That's the long tournament nights. Anyway, man, it's the boy Upchuck Gaming. Hit me up on Twitter at Upchuck Gaming. Make sure you look out for us this weekend. TOA Mortal Kombat 11 is gonna be lit. It's gonna be so much fun this weekend, and yeah, man, it was definitely a pleasure talking about this stuff, bro. I definitely want to get into the comic books a little more, because some of this, I'm like, this shit sound kind of hot, bro. I definitely want to start reading up on some stuff. But it was, like I said, man, the movie was good overall, man. It was a nice little sit down, just to kind of, and when you watch Infinity War and then watch this movie, it's like a better experience, kind of see like it's literally like right after. But shout out to the panel. Shout out to everybody, man. I hope you guys have a good one. And I'm out. Peace.
That's what's up, man. Yo, we got my man Frozen.
Thanks for having me. I think that Spider-Man movie that's coming is going to be garbage.
Oh, man.
With Mysterio? That looks.
If you haven't watched that, go watch it. And go buy the Blu-ray. Support it so that they can make more movies like that.
Yeah, but I didn't like the 24 frames per second. Shut your ass up.
What?
And all these people were complaining about Miles. Like, Like, stop it.
People were saying a whole bunch of stuff, man, with that movie. Like, I don't like the comic panels. It's a comic book movie. Like, what the fuck?
People didn't like that movie.
I don't like that Spider-Man is shooting webs from his
That
hands.
design is crazy.
That movie was so
Why is Spider-Man walking up walls?
But yo, Persona, gaming with Persona.
Why gotta be Spider-Man? Why can't it be Spider-Person? Shut up.
Yeah, go and do your outro, Persona, man. Let the people know.
Hi guys, what's up? Your boy Persona of Gaming with Persona. I definitely appreciate you guys coming through from Comic Books to Movies, episode 2. Hope you guys enjoyed hearing us chop it up, talking about comic books, movies, and all things alike. Yeah, that's pretty much it. About to go play some Days Gone. And yeah, that's it. Follow me on Twitter at Persona_Mog. And that's it.
What's up, man? But yeah, guys, definitely appreciate everybody coming through to the second episode of From Comics to Movies podcast. Hopefully you guys like the whole, panels and the little comic book, little, screen caps there. I will try to make them a little bit bigger for those that got, watching on the mobile side and things like that. But, this show is still a growing process and still under construction, but definitely do like the flow that's going on here. So yeah, see you guys next month, where we're gonna be talking about the webhead himself, and we're gonna be talking about my man Spider-Man, man, pretty much my favorite Marvel superhero. It's gonna go down basement, and it's not Friday the 13th, and I'm not playing Jason. But yo, we're about to get up out of here. Boy J Bari, I will have everybody link in the description, and I also have everybody's Twitter in the chat. Yo, Resurrection, what's good, man? What's good, man? You definitely missed the show, but yo, if any of you guys are interested ever on coming on, let me know, hit me up, and yeah, let's talk about some comic books. You guys are always gonna know the topics and stuff like that before the show, anyway, so you will be well prepared before the show starts. But we're about to get up out of here. Thank you guys, and see y'all next month on episode 3. We go. Deuces.